Hi, so yeah, here we are, back with another stream. It's been a while, and we have the sketch for Dragonborn. What is this? Down crop. Stop. Alright. It's a sketch for a Dragonborn character, and I'm just going to do that style where I just take the rough sketch and work on the same layer as it and just polish it, because I feel like there's more texture to the final product that way. Just adjusting my brush a little bit. Here we go. So yeah, I'll probably be going back to the Metroid text adventure thing once I make it to Torian. I haven't had a chance to sit down and play any more of it, but I feel like that will be more interesting to stream. Yeah, we close commissions pretty quickly this round, which is always a good thing to have happen, because it means you're getting a lot of requests and stuff, which is nice. I took a while this year. I stopped for a bit doing commissions, trying to do more stuff that would increase my reach, and I guess it's doing fine because I got plenty of requests, including some big ones. I might be doing a lot of pixel art in the future if a deal goes through. Just fun, I enjoy doing pixel art, and just for variety's sake, you know, it kind of takes, you get to rest a little bit from just drawing every day because it's very different. I do pixel art with the mouse. I don't really use the pen. So you kind of rest your wrist, and you know, having some variety in what you're working on helps you not get too worn out from it. So that should be nice. And I would really enjoy at some point if I got a job doing pixel art for a game. That sounds like a lot of fun. It's something I always did kind of in parallel to doing more traditional art, but I never, you know, really had like projects to work on. I used to make games when I was younger, but you know, at the point I was very young, not that good at it. And they have very limited amount of time that I could put into those things. I would like to see what I could do nowadays if I sat down to do like a full sprite set with animations. Bravely Default music. I started Bravely Default but never got that far into it. I liked it mechanically, but I have a lot of inertia for playing JRPGs, I guess. I usually at some point get distracted, you know, can't play for a little bit, and then I don't want to go back to it. I want to start something new. At the moment I lose that engagement of, you know, doing the next thing and the next thing. I just kind of don't feel like going back. I guess it got a little loud now. There you go. You guys tell me if the volume is ever too unbalanced. So yeah, this is kind of this is vaguely Asian inspired Dragonborn. You can see he has his kimono over his clothes and he's drinking a little bit of sake here. Hi, what's up, Logan? Doing another art stream, it's been a while. I noticed that a lot of the artists that I follow haven't been streaming. I wonder what's up with that. Like my follows, like the list of streams I follow on the left of Twitch there has been very barren lately. Hiya, I'm in Discord. I just have to finish setting up. Okay, no rush. This is earlier than when you were like expected to show up, so take your time. I'll be here for a while. Concubine is an artist as well. I know them back from Tumblr. And yeah, we're going to chat later. While in here, talk about arts is the idea. So he's going to hop into the stream at some point. Yeah, like I haven't seen like Potato Lion on for a while. She used to stream more often than me. What else? I know Orlake's still around, like he's still doing art and sometimes it pops up, but I haven't seen him online in a bit either. I was wondering if it had something to do with like the the Twitch leak and some of the problems I've been having. Like I can't export my videos to YouTube. Just haven't been working ever since they reset everybody's stream keys. Like I didn't even have to do it. I thought I'd have to like reconnect something with OBS, but that's still working fine. But YouTube is, you just can't connect to your YouTube channel. You try and it says, oh, this YouTube channel, sorry, this Google account doesn't have like a YouTube channel activated for it, which is incorrect. It just refuses to do so, and a bunch of people have been having that problem on the internet, but apparently Twitch just doesn't talk about it, which is pretty shitty. Like just say what's up and how long it's going to take to like repair it. While my browser refused to connect to chat, I always have weird internet issues. Huh. That's odd. Yeah, that's really weird. But yeah, Twitch is all weird also recently, ever since they got hacked, I guess? I'm not sure how the leak happened, I didn't bother looking that into it. I just know people were really like... I don't know why there was that much of a reaction. They were like, oh, 0.5% of the creators in the platform make most of the income. And like, yeah, that's every platform. Like, it's been like, I don't know, at least like 5 to 7 years since like stuff like YouTube and Instagram and etc. kind of unanimously decided that it's more worthwhile for them to invest and give all the spotlight to a few already successful creators than foster an environment where a variety of people can rise up and kind of be average sized. They pretty openly did that. So yeah, Twitch is like that. Like, that was one of the first things I noticed when I created a Twitch account. Like, it asks you what categories you're interested in and stuff like that, and it starts suggesting you people, and right away they suggest you the biggest channels in the platform that stream those categories. Like, they don't try to like tailor it like to show you smaller channels, but which are more specifically like that fit more specifically your profile. They make sure to show you, these are the biggest ones. So yeah, of course they're going to get bigger and bigger. You are in gaming mode. Oh no. There we go. Thanks. So yeah, that's just how it has been for a pretty long time in pretty much every platform. Like, I don't make any money from Twitch, neither did I like expect to. I'm like halfway to the point where I can even extract the money from Twitch, because you need to make at least $100. I'm like at 50 something at this point. And the time I spent making all the presentation stuff for Twitch, and like the subscriber dolls and stuff like that. Of course, if I just did commissions in that time, I would have made many times more money. I do this just because I kind of enjoy it too. And yeah, I'm making Jeff Bezos like some money, but not a lot. I'm actually not sure if I'm making Jeff Bezos any money, because there is a certain server cost to distribute my streams, and I'm not sure that subs and commercials on my stream even pay for that. They are absolutely a giant evil corporation, but if you are a super small streamer, you're not really working for them. They are losing money by having you in the platform. They're like investing on the possibility that, a few of the small ones are going to grow and eventually make them money. But most people who join Twitch are never going to make Twitch any money. They're just having fun. And you know, a lot of people I guess have a hope that they will, and that kinda sucks. Because it's a lottery, you can't go into like social media stuff as a career plan. Oh, what's up, Dead Wolf? Yeah, working on some comms. Like I feel a lot of people, you know, probably a lot of young people have like dreams of becoming Twitch famous or YouTube famous. Like you're just gonna generate a bunch of money from the platform, best case scenario, and probably never make any money out of it. Like if you're getting thousands of views or something on YouTube, you're making nothing from that. It's very exponential. You have to be one of the very few people that are kind of chosen by the algorithm, or happen to, you know, get lucky, and then you get millions and millions of views, and then you're rich. But there isn't much of a middle ground, like where you're just making a decent living, because it's not tailored for that. It's tailored to find the one person that's going to make them a boatload of money. This dude looks awesome. Yeah, I like his design a lot. It's fun to draw. The most common non-human race that I draw is Dragonborn. But yeah, so like I didn't start a Twitch with any expectations of like eventually making money. I'm doing it because, I mean, I've talked about this before, but because now that I'm on Twitter and Tumblr exploded, I really don't feel like there's that much interaction on Twitter. And that's kind of part of the fun of creating, you know, content on the internet, is you get to talk to people about it and about your interests. So having a stream is a place to interact with whoever wants to interact. But there are few enough people of my Twitter subscribers, few enough who want to interact directly, that I can talk to everybody who wants to. And here's a place to do that. I think it's good to be aware of how Twitch works and have your mindset. Yeah, I think it's mostly young people who are kind of vulnerable to get kind of starry-eyed about that kind of stuff and end up, you know, just working for free a bunch because they think it's realistic to try to build this as a career when it kind of isn't. Are you counting human adjacent races like half orcs? Yeah, I should have said like non-humanoid, even though they are kind of humanoid, but face-wise they aren't. Because I actually don't draw that many orcs, surprisingly. I haven't gotten that many orcs, just a few. But like elves and halflings and stuff I'm counting as like humanoids, because they basically have a human face. Orcs I guess would also be, I just didn't happen to draw that many orcs. Or half orcs. But yeah, and it really sucks that there's some dudes that, you know, got lucky and became like famous on YouTube or on Instagram or whatever, and then they try to sell kids on like the idea that, oh no, you can absolutely just do it, you just need to have the right mindset and grind and whatever, and you just have to buy my internet course on how to become an influencer. And it's like, no, there are literal millions of people trying the same thing that got that guy famous. It's just a combination of being lucky and, you know, being in the right place in the right time, being one of the first ones to a certain, you know, niche or style, or just, you know, happened to get lucky at some point and the algorithm is created to concentrate views. So now, you know, they feel very competent. They're like, oh, I can make a video that goes viral over and over and over. No, YouTube makes your videos viral because one of them already did. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, YouTube pushes your stuff way more than someone new doing the same thing. So really, for people who want to do that kind of stuff, I really think doing more of a direct service, like I do art commissions, like I don't make my money from clicks or from the stream, or, you know, nobody's going to like advertise on my fucking Twitter or something like that. I sell an actual thing that I make for people that takes labor. That's more possible as a realistic middle class thing. Having a bunch of people, you know, trying super hard to one day be Logan Paul is really only good for YouTube. But I also just didn't agree with all the takes I saw on Twitter about the Twitch leak, where they were like 99.9% of people who make content on Twitch don't make a living wage. And it's like, yeah, of course they don't. Like, they don't make Twitch a living wage either. Most of them cost Twitch money, which, you know, Twitch chose to kind of broadly invest on whoever wants to enter the channel. But you can't like unilaterally decide that you work for Twitch now and you should get a living wage from that. Like, sorry, that's not a job. And like, yeah, it's absurd that, you know, you can feel shitty for someone who's working all day. Like, I have a day job as well as this. Can feel shitty to see, oh, this guy just plays video games all day and he's rich. That feels unfair. But, you know, there's a lot of people who don't work and are much richer than that. Most people who are rich don't work. That's just kind of how it works. They just own things. So, you know, if you're going to start a revolution, probably shouldn't be against like bathtub streamers. But yeah, I wonder if people like got discouraged by seeing the Twitch leak and the discourse around it. If they did, it's probably healthy, because, you know, if they were expecting that making a decent income from Twitch was like a realistic thing, or like a good thing to invest into, yeah, I agree that it isn't. Try to make his face really leathery looking. Some sharp, like, creases and stuff. But yeah, what's up with you guys? Also, changing passwords is a good idea if you haven't after the leak. Yeah, I actually haven't. I should do that. But you know, since they didn't, you know, even say that, they just said, "Oh, we switch your key," and just figured, okay, it's fine. Just finished a really nice walk. Good. That's cool. I'm still not, you know, I could go out more, but I still haven't been. I'm kind of waiting to have my second dose, which is taking forever. I'll only get my second dose of the vaccine around the end of the month. So I'm kind of, you know, we're so close that I'm trying to still be super careful about that kind of stuff. In December, I'm going to take my first trip ever since the pandemic began. I'm going to go to a different state. With my girlfriend, we're going to visit her family. So that's going to be fun, finally. You know, not being home after a while. I have an idea for something I want to commission when you open again, but it's a character I haven't drawn myself. Would it be okay if we give you some traits and let you fill in the blanks? Absolutely. A bunch of the times, you know, every, you know, original character has to be drawn for the first time by someone. So yeah, it's perfectly acceptable to just give a general description, and even if you don't have, like, in your head, like, for sure what you want the character to look like, we can kind of design them together. I enjoy doing character design. And since I do the sketch thing before charging, we can figure it out in the sketch phase. You can try out a design and you're like, okay, actually I would prefer to change this and that, and then we're like, okay. Because sketches are super fast. The vast majority of time you spend as an artist is always the final art. Sketches are fast and fun, you just knock them out real quick. Final art's the actual labor of the thing. So yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take because I have these things that I'm going to figure out about the sprites work that I might be doing. Depending on how big of a workload that's going to be, I might be able to reopen sooner or later. But I got that and some other, bigger requests, so I just wanted to close this round pretty fast so I didn't get overloaded at any point. Also, Dread's going to Mantry Dread. It's going to arrive soon enough, and I want to take some time to play that and not feel too guilty. Because when I let the commissions line get too big, then I feel self-conscious about it and don't give myself any time off. Because I don't like to leave people waiting. Hey, what's up? What's up, Junkyard Wolf? Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to stream Metroid because you need stuff to stream the Switch. So I could only do that if I got a camera and pointed it at the Switch like it's 2008. But I don't think that would work out, so I'm just gonna play it in my own time. I'll talk about it, but I won't be able to stream my playthrough. Wolves. There are two wolves in your stream. One of them is gay, the other is gay. There was a really old meme. I don't know if that's people even remember that, how popular it was. There's two wolves inside you. I don't even know what the original quote was. I just don't remember the one where they were both gay. What's up, Orlek? I was just talking about that earlier. Have you been streaming, Orlek? I haven't caught either you or really any of my other mutual follow artists streaming for a bit. Looks super cool, thanks. Yeah, it's somebody's RPG character and I like him. It's a good design. He's drinking sake on the left here. Oh no, there's songs with lyrics in Bravely Default. That's some anime ending kind of music. It's been pretty rough lately, but things are getting cool now. Oh, that's too bad. Sorry to hear it's like real life stuff. When music with lyrics plays FBI opener. Yeah, I think it's fine as long as it's like a video game soundtrack. Shouldn't be any bots. Question, what are you drawing today? This is an RPG character commission. I always have like down here, like I forget to to update it, but down there should say what I'm doing at any point. So yeah, this is someone's character. This is like a Dragonborn kinda. I don't even know his class, they just gave me like the description of the character. But yeah, he wears like Japanese clothes and has a cool eye patch. It gives me like it reminds me of Oren, I think, from Final Fantasy X. Like the cool kind of drunk looking samurai guy. I even had him have one hand inside his kimono, like not going through the sleeve, but going through the inside of it. While drinking sake, just it's kind of a stereotype, I think, about that type of character. They always have like the one hand not going through the sleeve. Also, your avatar reminds me of an older Wallace from Digimon. Let me Google Wallace from Digimon. Yeah, nothing serious really, just I've been a little sad lately because one of my brothers moved to another country a few weeks ago. Oh, I see. Well, at least it's like a thing that he did like voluntarily. But yeah, sucks when you end up moving apart from people. So that's Wallace from Digimon. I had no idea. I guess makes sense. Never really watched Digimon, and I don't think this guy's from like early Digimon, because I really have zero memory of this kid. Not like Gen 1 or whatever. He's from the movie. Oh, he's just from the movie. I remember the movie. It's really well animated. It looks really good. Oh, off Gen 2. Alright. Yeah, I saw bits of the movie from Gen 1, and it's like animated by the person who did like Wolf Children and Summer Wars and stuff like that. And their art style is nice. I like the art style. I don't know, I figure like the Digimon cartoons probably better than Pokemon, because the Pokemon cartoon really wasn't very good in retrospect. I wasn't that into it as a kid either, but like I saw some stuff from like the early Pokemon cartoon, and it was really kind of cheap and lazy. It really wasn't that good. Yeah, the art style is really good. Although, like the one thing that I think is pretty decent from the Pokemon anime is the first movie. Maybe the second one as well, but maybe the movies are better, I don't know. But I think the first movie is a pretty decent like execution of that. or the really, kind of underdeveloped story of Mewtwo from the games. It's too bad that they cut the stuff with like the scientist's daughter and the shared dream scenes. I don't know if you guys know about that. There's a bunch of cut content from the Western version of the Pokemon movie because it was just too sad. It's kinda heavy, but it seems pretty good. And like it would add, like it gives Mewtwo more reason to be kinda hate people. Although if you played Sonic Adventure 2, they did completely rip that off with the scientist's daughter thing, so you might have kinda got the experience. I like the first 4 movies. Yeah, I didn't like. I rewatched like bits of the first movie and thought, okay, that's actually pretty good recently. But I haven't seen like Pokemon the movie 2000 since the year 2000 when I saw it on theaters. So I remember liking it as a kid, and at that point I wasn't even watching the anime anymore. But I remember, the anime already, kind of feeling sort of underwhelming and phoned in, and the movies feeling like, work and stakes existed. I love the style of the first season Pokemon. Also, Gary riding a car. Yeah, Gary and Team Rocket are like the things that I feel like people agree were the good things from the early Pokemon anime. Like, Team Rocket was ridiculous in a likable way, and just Gary being awesome and way better than Ash was fun. Because there's really undercut, like, the rival in Gen 1, he's very full of himself, but the plot demands that he loses to you like 7 times, so, he can't be that full of himself. But in the anime, he's actually better than Ash in every way. He gets more badges than exist in the whole Kanto region, like 10 episodes in or whatever. Oh, that was an abrupt change of songs. I think it's a bit low, right? Well, I just got my drivers installed. It's been a pain. Drivers? Drivers for what? What did you need drivers for? Meant to give him like a few smaller scars. Oh, I like this music. Yeah, I should go back and play Bravely Default at some point. It was pretty good. I don't know what's going on with this playlist. This just started cutting songs off. It's kind of funny how every past character in the anime moved and achieved their goals, and Ash is still try hard at everything and failing. Everyone seems a little bit more mature except him. I always thought that was a really bad idea, that unlike like the Pokemon Adventures manga, they just stuck with the same protagonist forever. Like Ash was never the reason anybody was watching Pokemon. They were watching because of the world and of the Pokemon, and I assume they kept him because of Pikachu and not because of Ash. But you know, you could first you can have the Pikachu still in the story, other Pikachus, but you know, you can just every gen just choose a cute Pokemon and have Pikachu, you know, be kind of a mascot. Like Mickey Mouse is the mascot for Disney, but you barely ever see Mickey Mouse in anything. You can still just use him in the logos and stuff. So yeah, because it keeps Ash from progressing, you know, he has to be kind of mediocre, he can just grow and become really good at it, so... yeah. At some point it just becomes this meta story where he's... yeah, this playlist is just messed up. It has like bits of songs in the middle of other songs. That's odd. What's your opinion of Bayonetta 3? I haven't really... like, I played a bit of Bayonetta 1 and it just wasn't my kind of game, so I never played any others. Like even before that, like Devil May Cry, I just never got into it. Okay, I'm switching soundtracks. This is just weird. Keeps cutting up in the middle. Yeah, the music's just getting more messed up over time. I have liked to see Edge actually get older and mature. I don't understand why companies think kids need to watch other kids. They often think older kids as adults are cooler anyway. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think there's like a valid thing that there's a difference between the character you identify with and the character you think is cool, and you might want to go for the former and not the latter, but I think it would definitely like be cooler if, you know, they shifted focus to another character and then Ash could show up every once in a while and be better. That kids would probably think that was cool. They should have just, you know, I guess Gen 2 is kind of a continuation of Gen 1 in a way. So you could have Ash before there for like Gen 1 and 2. But when Gen 3 came out, they should have made Brandon and May the main characters. And have Ash, you know, like by the end of the other one, have Ash like be champion, and then you can move on to new people. Like Yu-Gi-Oh did that, and they were fine, I think. About as fine as Pokemon. Like both series, of course, never got as popular again as they were in their first generations, but you know, they just got new protagonists. And Yu-Gi-Oh needed to do that way less than Pokemon. But it's just in development. I mean, you've seen the trailer for it. Yeah, so because I don't really like play Bayonetta, I didn't actually watch the trailer or anything. I've seen her design because people were drawing her on Twitter, and seems good. But I don't actually follow the series. I don't actually follow gaming news like day to day, because the stuff that's like relevant to me, people are just going to tell me about. Like I will know, I'll see people talking about it on Twitter or something, or my friends will mention. But yeah, I really don't know. I don't know anybody who watched, like who kept watching the Pokemon anime past like the very early Pokemania days. Like I don't even know if there is a Brazilian dub anymore, or if there has been in a very long time. Because it almost like kind of feels like it's not meant to be watched continuously. Like the whole Ash thing might be because they assume that viewers are coming in and out all the time, so none of them are going to have the experience of Ash just kind of being stale for a really long time and not getting better. They don't want to have any cutoff points because, you know, every kid's just gonna catch it in the middle. And they just feel like, you know, let's keep doing Ash. Nobody's like, it's not going to be weird because nobody's going to hang around for years watching it. Because it is very like, it's aimed at a very young audience, like even more so than the games. I feel the games are more broad appeal than the anime, because, you know, there's the whole mechanical thing about it and the maths of it all, where you can try to play it better. And, you know, since Gen 3 there's been like actual challenging stuff in like the post game. But I feel like the anime is not really trying to go for that broader audience. They tried to claim Sun and Moon was a new continuity, which is straight up wasn't true. They referenced Kanto. Huh, I didn't know there was a thing. Like they referenced stuff that happened back in Kanto. Maybe it's a new continuity in like the superhero comics way, where, you know, they may mention past events and they are still being canon, but it doesn't have to have happened in quite the same way or over as long of a period of time. So like if you read the really old Iron Man comics, like he got injured in Vietnam, but nowadays like some stuff from that era might come back and still exist, but now he got injured in like Afghanistan and stuff like that. Or like how Homer Simpson initially had met Marge in like the 70s, and then later on they have an episode where they meet in like a Nirvana concert or something in the 90s. Kind of a wobbly kind of continuity. Yeah, Missy, Ash, and Brock reference the things they did in Kanto, and it's like, bruh. Frank Castle went from serving in the Vietnam War to serving in the war. That's probably best. That way you don't have to update it every once in a while. The Simpsons is another clusterfuck of a long running show. Yeah, I haven't watched it in a really, really long time. Thinking about this new Simpsons hurts a little. Yeah, I haven't seen that much. Like I saw like stuff from the up to I don't know, maybe the late 2000s, and people were already saying it was bad, and I thought it was kind of exaggerated. Like it was still way better than like most cartoons for grown-ups, because that's a kind of awful genre in general, you know. Most stuff for the kind of audience is pretty terrible. But like I've seen bits of newer stuff that seems pretty bad. I just don't know how selected it is, you know, because people want to compare, you know, the worst of the recent stuff to the best of the older stuff. Like pretty much everything that's long running, the popular opinion is it used to be good, but now it's bad. And sometimes I think they can be a little bit exaggerated because of nostalgia, but The Simpsons does seem to not be doing good now. And anyway, I really don't have any interest in more Simpsons, like I feel like I've seen enough Simpsons. So even if it was considered good, I probably wouldn't watch it. Yeah. Like there's some better adult cartoons now, I guess. Although there seem to be some very, very bad ones as well. But like BoJack Horseman is very good. Rick and Morty has good episodes as well. I'm not quite up to date on Rick and Morty, but I'll watch it at some point. Like as obnoxious as like the super fans are, I don't think it's a bad show. The Simpsons has characters just say how they feel and explain what is happening. Yes. This is not the kind of critique that I had heard before, but yeah, sounds like a bad thing. There's a little bit more, you know, consistent like criticism than I had heard. Usually it was more, I don't know, surface level stuff. Like, look at this one scene, it is bad, and it's like, yeah, but old Simpsons had bad moments as well. But yeah, that seems not good. And also, you know, Simpsons, it was kind of a parody, or it took as a starting point a certain type of, like, you know, the family sitcom thing and certain TV stereotypes as supporting cast that just it's become outdated. The whole central cast of The Simpsons is a parody slash homage to like an era of TV that's just not current anymore. So that's not going to give you that much more material to work with.
Howdy.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, nothing much. I'm finally making it into the stream.
Cool. Let's see if chat can hear you fine. They should be able to hear you fine, but because I have desktop audio maxed out, but you guys tell me. So yeah, what drivers were you downloading stuff for?
I have been trying to get my stupid Wacom tablet to work this whole time, and it's working now. The only issue I'm having is that every time I try to mess with the settings to make it so that I can use my tablet, it tells me that the drivers are outdated.
Oh, well, there are like places in the Wacom website where you download drivers, but I had this problem for a really long time because I had an older tablet and it just Windows 10 just didn't accept it at all. Because it kind of had its own way of dealing with drawing tablets, so they kind of conflicted, and neither Windows nor Wacom were interested at all in
Fixing it.
yeah, and making it fixable, because they just wanted you to buy a new one. That's why I didn't buy Wacom when I bought a newer one. Like, there are ones that are way cheaper now and about the same quality, and Wacom was supposed to be like the industry standard, so it was like, okay, this should have a guarantee of longevity.
Yeah, absolutely.
The chat says they can hear you fine.
Okay.
So what's the point if they're going to have like this obsolescence stuff anyway?
Yeah, for sure.
So I just bought a cheaper one this time, and it's been working fine for me. So mine was a bamboo tablet, so it was older, but I don't know what yours is. If it's
Mine is the Cintiq 12WX or whatever.
Do you know like what year it's from? If it's from
Oh, goodness.
before Windows 10?
Yeah, I think it is before Windows 10.
So it might have problems. Maybe not quite to the same extent, because mine I couldn't even like open the settings for the tablet. I couldn't have that part of the system installed, or it would just mess it up. I had to install like one other thing. There were like two different drivers that I had to install in a specific order, to where it's worked. Like, the only thing that worked was the pencil tip. It had like an eraser tip on the other side that did nothing. Yeah. The bottoms on the actual tablet did nothing. I couldn't reconfigure it, but it worked for like the basic pen pressure thing. So I just used that for like years.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on here right now.
Oh, that's bad, because I looked and there's no fix for that.
Oh no. Alright, well, I'll just have to get I'll have to get my PC working.
Unless it's like because yours is less old than mine.
Mm-hmm.
If there was like a solution, but it seems like the same problem, and my problem, I found nothing online about it. No solution.
That
really sucks. Yeah. Planned obsolescence sucks.
I've got a Mac that I usually use, but for some reason some of the hardware's jostled loose, and I have to reinstall the thing that connects me to the internet.
Oh.
Like it's just as if the hardware isn't there for it, and I'm like, are you kidding me? What the heck?
All right, that's a weird problem.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, but let's hope maybe Apple is better for this. Not that planned obsolescence. It's certainly a thing that Apple is not famous for avoiding.
oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
I the computer that I have is a workhorse computer. It's built for doing like ILM quality work. Um, it just I haven't figured out how to use it yet. It's a totally new experience to me.
what's ILM? I didn't really know that.
Oh, it's Industrial Lights and Magic. It's the guys that did
Oh,
like all of the Star Wars stuff back in the day.
right. So is that like you mean it's supposed to like run good 3D effects and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, it runs Blender like a champ.
Cool, cool. Yeah. My computer is starting to show its age, but I'm probably not gonna be able to change it anytime soon.
Yeah,
In Brazil, you might have heard we're not super politically stable in the moment. The
I've not turned on the news or anything like that.
the president, he's a proto-fascist, and
Oh boy.
he's pulling a Trump, where he's pretty much already said that if he loses the election, he's not going to accept the results.
Oh dang.
So the dollar doesn't love that, like exchange rates.
Hmm.
They don't like instability, so the dollar is super expensive. Which if you sell commissions in dollars, that's kind of good for you. But it also means that electronics are super expensive. Like
Yeah.
the graphics cards that people were buying like 5 years ago are more expensive, than they were then.
Wow, that's crazy.
Some stuff is not even on the market. Like it was cheaper to buy a Switch, I think, like a year after it came out than it is now.
That's insane.
So it's not the time to be buying electronics in Brazil. So I'm sitting on
Man,
it.
that's
I'm
a
just hoping this thing doesn't fall apart on me because if it does,
yeah. Keep your fingers crossed for sure. Man, I speaking of just junk electronics, I was doing a bunch of digital commissions a couple months ago, and I was doing it on because I was using Procreate. Uh, it was just starting to act a little funny, like it was starting to slow down in ways that I didn't expect, or just doing strange stuff. And I plugged it in one day, and the screen turned off, and it's
mm.
never come back on.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I had been drawing on that thing for like 3 years, and all my artwork is just poof. At least for like a
Oh.
couple months worth of artwork is just gone.
Ah, that sucks. I have
Yeah,
my art on the cloud now, thankfully. Like,
yeah. Well, with Procreate, I have to like export every single image,
yeah. Oof.
so it's tons and tons of my artwork saved to the cloud through Google. Um, but yeah, I mean, there are some pieces that I was working on that I was like, oh, I can just finish this on the Wacom and it won't be so bad. But no longer can I do that.
Oh, that sucks. My computer, thankfully, it has like 6 or 7 years now. Thankfully, it's been a trooper. It's holding up nicely. Um, I have the weirdest problem with my monitor though, like my main monitor. I'm actually going to switch them and put a slightly smaller one that I kind of got because someone changed theirs and I got it second hand. I'm going to put that
Oh,
on
nice.
as my main one because my monitor has had this problem for years when I turn it on initially after it being off for like half an hour
Yeah.
or something, it just shows these crazy kind of jumbled of colors. This kind of vertical lines of different colors, and it kind of changes gradually. It's kind of pretty actually, but
Like an aurora.
yeah, and I have to like reset it after some time for it to, and then it works fine. But the amount of time I have to wait has been getting higher and higher.
Hmm.
What happened? I think it caused a bug where like this last piece of like this last line here just got stuck in time, and the undo doesn't undo it. That's weird.
Oh no.
I'm undoing like all the good things, not like on top of the drawing.
Oh shoot.
That was weird. I guess I drew so fast it kind of freaked Photoshop out. But yeah, it's just been getting longer and longer, and now it takes like 40 minutes to.
Oh dang.
So I'm just using the other monitor. I end up giving myself neck cramps. I'm just going to switch them. Oh yeah, here in Chile you got the same issue. Nintendo Switch are like $200 more expensive than the release price got in 2017.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's wild. It's crazy expensive right now.
Yeah. God's forbid you like want to get a PS5 or an Xbox One.
Oh, actually, that turns out the line was when I drew an arrow to. I just left it there and forgot, so that's what was.
Oh.
I thought I freaked out Photoshop. So yeah, really, I play PC games basically because Steam is way better with pricing in like the developing world. They actually scale the prices to our cost of living
that
and
makes
stuff.
sense. That's cool.
So yeah, I don't know, like they should just do that. So okay, if it's too expensive for Nintendo to like release physical games here, just make the digital releases, scaled like Steam. People would actually buy a Switch then.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because yeah, it's kind of crazy expensive. But I do have a friend who has a Switch. So I'm going to get to play Metroid Dread soon.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
It looks really good. I've only heard good things. I saw some people doing like sequence breaks and stuff, and it looks really interesting.
I haven't looked into any of the sequence break stuff just because it's just so immense.
But the gameplay is so crazy versatile that like I saw someone morph ball bomb jumping, and it's more versatile than it ever was. You can pretty much fly bomb jumping, and you can like speed boost and then like jump and wall jump, and you keep the speed boost going the opposite direction. So there's even more ways to like carry your speed boost around and use it to like skip stuff that would need something else. I really like that from the advanced games. I really like the thing about carrying your speed boost around, because then you can shine spark and get past stuff that would need like other power-ups.
Yeah. Hold on just a moment. What's up?
I think Nintendo kinda hates Latin America. I think they just hate poor people.
Wait, what?
Orlex said, I think Nintendo kinda hates Latin America, but I think they hate everybody who doesn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
I made a TeePublic recently. People keep asking for prints and like t-shirts of some stuff that I draw. So I made a TeePublic, which is a site where you get to just upload stuff. And Nintendo takes down stuff. It's weird. There's a ton of stuff just using like official Nintendo artwork, just flat out stolen. But my stuff with Pokemon and Zelda tags just got like taken down immediately. But not Metroid. I get to use Metroid tags fine, they don't care.
Yeah, I mean, when they just recently started giving a shit about Metroid.
Yeah, I guess they haven't, updated this stuff. Maybe now the Dread's selling well, they're going to take my Metroid t-shirts down as well.
Ugh. I hope not, man. Those are some really kick-ass pieces of artwork.
Thanks, yeah. I'm thinking I can probably go under the radar if I don't use any of the tags or words and just have them on, because it's a robot checking for sure.
Oh
So
yeah.
so if I just use the designs, I can probably re-upload everything. Everything's just going to get approved, and then I would have to link to my story directly. You know, people just wouldn't find them via TeePublic because it wouldn't show up on search.
Right.
But I'm kind of considering that.
I mean, I don't see it wouldn't work.
Sakamoto's chill. Yeah, I don't think Sakamoto's the one who decides that kind of stuff. He doesn't like own the Metroid. He just gets to direct some.
It's Miyamoto personally banning everybody's artwork.
Miyamoto's just raging.
An internet troll.
Yeah.
He's just on a laptop in a like coffee shop somewhere in Japan,
Every day.
angrily
just,
taking down people's artwork.
It's mine. I created it.
Yeah.
Only guy gets to profit from the Mario.
Did you see the? It was something where one of the fans had posted something like, "What if Mario and Luigi kissed?" And on Twitter he was like, "How about no?"
No, that's I saw that, but that's a parody account.
Oh, okay.
I actually saw that one, but there's like a parody account of people.
It's like, please stop doing this.
Yeah, well, you know, please stop. Yeah, but I was talking about this the other day. You know, like I like Miyamoto. I really like his game design philosophy. He made a lot of games that brought me a lot of fun as a kid and stuff. But we don't know people, right? Like he might be shit. We don't know him personally. Just because they make stuff that's good doesn't mean they're just like a good person. He might be crappy. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean it's very possible. It's one of those. I don't know. The way I see it is like they work their asses off, and they're like the people that even know what video games are.
You fell for a bit. You said they work their asses off, and then you kind of fell for a bit.
Oh, it's I mean they're the creators of like an entire generation's worth of video games.
Yeah.
So I mean there's a lot of weight on their shoulders, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just that sometimes people get like super attached to people they don't know.
Oh, for sure.
And I don't think that's like super good because the art and the person are just different things. You can really like the stuff they do, and that doesn't mean that you're going to like them as a person.
Exactly. It's the separation of art and artist.
Yeah, it's something that I kind of favor because I don't know. Sometimes in the internet, even they find out that someone is crappy, and then they try to say, "Oh, actually, their work was also crappy all along," because that's kind of a comfortable take. Like you feel better about it. It's very, it's very good for like clicks because when people learn that someone was crappy, they want to, throw away everything about that person. But I don't think that's...
Oh yeah.
It's like a good thing you can think, that they are important. And I say this about Nintendo as a company also. Like Nintendo is easily the most important influential company in the gaming history. I think their impact in like game design philosophy is invaluable. Like they were so much better than almost everyone. Like focusing on actual gameplay and the actual experience of play when a lot of the industry had lost sight of that and was kind of just making this AAA, super production things.
Yeah.
So I think they can be this company that has a great impact and has fostered great talent and produced amazing games, and also their corporate practices are pretty shitty and monopolistic and predatory. Like both things can be true.
For sure. I mean the whole like Mario 3D All-Stars debacle. It's like, why is it limited? And then they want you to now pay $50 online service to play Mario 64. It's like, really? Come
Yeah.
on.
And they used to have like virtual console for really reasonable prices back in the Wii.
Yeah, like it
And they
was
were
so
like,
nice.
nah, let's resell stuff for a bunch of money.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, who wants to pay 12 cents for, Majora's Mask on the Wii? It's like, well, yeah, absolutely. That sounds like a great idea. And now it's like, here's $35 and you get to stream it to your Switch, which isn't bad, but whatever, who cares? I
Yeah.
don't know, it's
Sometimes it's nice not to know who the creators are on a personal level. Yeah, I guess. But I'm also not that bothered when they turn out to be bad people. I don't think it doesn't ruin it that much for me.
definitely.
Like I was recently rewatching some Rurouni Kenshin with my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
I've not seen that one yet.
oh, used to be my favorite anime when I was a kid. But it's like shonen. It's like good for shonen from the 90s,
yeah.
but it doesn't mean that it's no masterpiece either.
Right, I was a Naruto kid, so.
Yeah, I'm probably a little bit older than you, so actually a bunch of people my age did watch Naruto, but there was a point when I wasn't like kind of 12 years old or something. Not even actually, not even. 'Cause Naruto is from like, yeah, I don't know, 11 to 13 years old. At that point, I kind of wasn't watching shonen already, and then I came back to watching other stuff. But yeah, from when I was like a kid, Kenshin was my favorite, and the dude, the author, was like arrested with a bunch of like child pornography in his computer.
Oh, no. That's terrible.
So yeah, that sucks. He's a crappy person with issues, but I didn't even think about that when I was watching Kenshin. It doesn't really, I don't know. Doesn't bother me. I don't feel like I am connecting with a person when I'm watching a product.
Absolutely.
So I'm kind of fine with it. And it's so weird because so much anime has like creepy sexualization or like teenage girls.
Yeah.
Or even it's just kind of creepy towards women in general. And Kenshin was not at all like that. Like it was the least that kind of creepy anime ever. But I guess because the dude was getting it out of his system like in real life. But like watching like actual illegal filmed child porn.
Yikes.
So yeah, that's terrible.
I'm just pulling some artwork off of the interwebs. If you would like to see some of that.
Sure. You can link it on chat or on Discord.
You care if I put the images in the chat?
No, there's no problem.
Sweet.
Links are allowed.
I have 8 images here.
Oh, did you put? I thought you were talking about like Twitch chat. Did you put it on Discord chat? Oh
Yeah, I put it on Discord.
All right, cool. Let's. Oops, I copied the link. Copy image. Where is it? Do I have to open it? Okay. Here we go. Here's the first one. There's like is there a D&D character?
Hold on, let me see. I get to Twitch. I gotta see what you're
I'm doing them in order. I know you have a little bit of a delay.
Okay. Yes, the first one is a D&D character named Tensis. He is a battle paladin type subclass.
Cool.
Of Heronius, and he lets everybody know that, like, all the time.
Cool. I like his design. I like the really bold colors.
Thank you.
Like I really like when you use like a kind of stronger color combinations, like a because you tend to kind of default to more muted stuff because that always works together.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
having like a really bold center in colors, I think it's really nice. I don't know if you've seen like any of my characters, but my
Oh yeah.
my monk is really. I try to make him really bright and like.
I like bright characters. My thought process for him was like Arizona tea, like the can on the Arizona tea.
Oh, I don't really know that, but I can imagine.
It's got
just
like
just take a.
cherry blossom trees and
Oh, nice. So yeah, cool. Is he a tiefling? What's his?
yeah, he's a tiefling. He's got some dragon blood in him too.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
It's all flavor text.
Okay.
It didn't really affect his stats any.
Oh, so,
Uh,
so that's not to have access to dragon blood based.
right, yeah. I asked my DM if I could learn how to breathe some sort of breath power, and he was like, maybe. I was like, oh, damn it.
Oh, this is like the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer.
Yeah. I was very excited.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna play that someday, but also again,
Yeah,
probably gonna be
expensive.
a while before that. It would probably sooner be cheap to like buy a computer that can emulate Switch and emulate it.
With like Simu or something like that.
There is a Switch emulator already. They're working on. Apparently, Dread runs really well on it, but I'm going to play it legit first. Then,
Oh yeah,
then maybe
absolutely.
I'll try it. Yeah, that's nice. I like the lighting.
Thank you.
On the Dragon Blood thing, my monk is actually like he's a race from Dragon Magazine. We play 3.5, so it's a 3.5
Oh, nice.
Dragon Magazine race, which is like a shifter, which are basically werewolves in D&D. But
Right.
he is a Saurian shifter, which is like they turn into basically kind of dinosaur people.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome.
but he's like the flavor text says that they are believed to be to have like be partially descended from dragons, from people who are
That's
like
rad.
more properly dragon people. So I asked the DM to make him technically dragon blood,
Mhm.
so I could have like a monk subclass that's like a disciple of the eye, which you need to have dragon blood, and then you use like intimidation based like stare
Oh, cool.
moves. So there's kind of a subclass of monk. I'm taking 3 or 4, I think 4 levels in that.
Very cool. My favorite class is monk.
I'm enjoying it. It's cool mixing things up with like I'm
I
trying to
like
make
getting to punch ghosts.
yeah, I got like a ghost shroud to punch ghosts. Um, but yeah, like they don't do in 3.5 at least they really don't do a lot of damage. They kind of get called like jack of all trades, master of none. They see like they're kind of
Yeah.
mediocre fighter, mediocre thief rolled into one. But I'm trying to make him. He's kind of tanky because he has a lot of constitution, and he's based on using like stunning fist and trips. He has like improved strip and like these intimidation things to just kind of stall everybody, to like be
That-
on the front line, kind of making everybody lose turns and lose actions and be vulnerable, while the other
Very
people hurt
cool.
them. That was kind of what I was going for.
I played a halfling monk, and so you get lost in the crowd.
Oh, that's
And-
kind of rough to be like fighting when you're tiny.
Oh, yeah, but with lost in the crowd, if you're around like 3 people or 3 creatures that are bigger than you are, you just disappear like at will.
Oh,
And
cool.
so I would hide behind my teammates, vanish from sight, and then get attack of opportunity or sneak attack
Right.
damage with flurry of blows.
Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, that's neat. Did you get like a rogue level to
Yeah,
sneak?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Cool, cool.
absolutely.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's the really fun thing about D&D. You know, there's just like infinite content for you to like come up with creative builds.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I've been actually using my comic book, the world for my comic book as the world for D&D,
oh, cool.
and it's been super fun. My players seem to like it a lot.
Yeah, that's neat. Then you already have like a bunch of like material on it.
Yeah, it's like forced world.
I think you fell for it a little bit. Sorry, I haven't been reading chat so much because we've been talking a lot. Had a character that had rage, but it was in no way stat based.
So he just got angry all the time.
Um, so kind of back to the art. Is this your design? This monster thing? I don't. It's not familiar
Yeah,
with it.
my buddy slash roommate wanted me to draw some sort of like Halo creature mixed with alien from the Alien movies,
Yeah.
and so this is essentially what I came up with. I was just kind of riffing off the top of my head.
Oh, it's cool. I kind of thought it was going to be like a D&D creature.
I mean, it very well could be.
Mhm. It's neat. The low arms.
Yeah, I love little arms. It got me in debt. That's where it stuck to me the most.
Can give double hugs.
That's adorable.
Yeah, neat. Boop. And then let's see what else we got here. We got a low.
Xenomorphs. That's right.
Yeah, I don't actually know. I recently rewatched the entire um, Alien series, and I still don't know where
Hmm.
the term xenomorph came from.
Yeah, I don't.
When did people decide to call it that? Was it something they called in like internally, like in development, but never mentioned in the movie, and
Probably.
then it became known?
I think it might be one of the. It's like a Boba Fett. The name was said on like the box of a toy.
Maybe.
And
Did you
people
know
were like,
that
"Yeah,
Ken from Street Fighter is called Ken Masters? Because
what?
yeah, his last name's Ken Masters. That's like official now, and
Oh,
his name was created, like his last name was created because he wasn't like E Honda. Like his last name wasn't in the games. He was just Ken. But the same company was making Street Fighter toys who did Barbie, and they needed something different for like the accounting stuff or like their when they were like registering a doll. The doll couldn't be called
that's
Ken because then it would just that would be the name of the Ken doll. So they had to call it something else, and they came up with Ken Masters.
that's great.
I don't remember if like they asked Capcom for something and Capcom said Ken Masters, or if they came up with Ken Masters. I think they asked Capcom, but it was created so he wouldn't have the same name as Barbie's boyfriend.
That's fantastic.
So he's a little dude. This kind of reminds me of the comic that got a Netflix series. I don't know if it's related.
Uh, Hippo.
Isn't it like called Sweet Tooth or something?
Oh yeah, Sweet Tooth. I haven't seen that yet, but I've heard the comics and the show are very, very good.
Yeah, I saw the show and then I googled the comics and I realized that it was like an artist that I remember from like DeviantArt.
Oh wow,
So that's cool. Like I recognized the art style and then I like looked it up and it was someone I remember from DeviantArt and I was like, oh neat. They're doing like a big comic now because it like got a Netflix series. That's awesome.
yeah, that's amazing.
Oh yeah,
But
cool.
yeah, this character is just like a little fawn. My goal for this was to create like the most PlayStation looking character I could.
I kinda get it. Isn't. Um, what else have we got here? This is like a leech kind of thing. It's more paintedly.
Yeah, this was the first time I'd really tried to like paint anything digitally, at least.
Yeah. Nature gave it. You had like a canvas texture in the background.
Hmm.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah.
I was getting really into the SCP containment breach stuff.
Oh, right, right. I never
I
like
wanted to.
read too much into it, but I am aware of the thing and seems fun. It's like
Mhm.
a kind of shared universe kind of fanfic thing where whoever wants to create a monster can create it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, seems interesting. I like this community fiction kind of stuff. I don't know. I guess
Absolutely.
people like gather that from watching my stream that I'm very into the idea of creative things belonging to the culture and not to rights holders. So
Oh yeah.
I like open source art and open source fiction and stuff like that. I think
It
that's
tends to be more interesting in general.
yeah, it creates rich things and it kind of gives space for people to be participators in culture and not consumers of culture,
Exactly.
which I think is the correct way for humans to work. Is a reason why I also always like I'm very open. People like say, "Oh, can I write a fanfic or something?" Like a lot of people have thought about writing fanfic with like the Smash Persona stuff,
Hmm.
and I always like or like making their own Smash Persona thing, and they ask for permission, and I'm always yes, absolutely, you can do it, and I don't actually believe that you should need to ask me for permission.
The Smash Persona stuff is actually how I found you.
Yeah, that's probably how most people found me.
That's fair.
That's how I got a lot of my following back on Tumblr. But yeah,
It's a brilliant concept.
thanks. Yeah, I enjoyed doing it because I like designing. You know, I
Oh yeah,
like
character
character.
design is so fun.
Yeah, and it helps to do it within parameters. Like I use this art style from Persona,
Mhm.
and I'll use these set of characters and try to come up with something based on that. Having limitations kind of gives you something to work with.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
what about when the culture fucking sucks?
Oh yeah.
I really things
The
are
Zelda
going to be
community kind of sucks sometimes.
what community?
The Zelda community. It just depends on where you're at.
I mean, I feel like most fandoms have like a toxic core of people who are just way too kind of invested in that and kind of possessive about it.
Yeah, it's just the impatience that gets me.
Impatience, huh? I
Yeah.
I kind of surprisingly I don't frequent that many fandom spaces. Uh, like I draw a fan art, but I'm a lot like in groups and forums and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I've been a lifelong Zelda fan and like it a huge part of my life.
yeah,
And I was, just trying to find other Zelda community stuffs out there. I've found that people in the Zelda community act like they're starved of content.
wow, Metroid
Yeah,
fans would be like,
exactly.
yeah, it's kind of weird. Like play other games. I feel like that can be kind of a problem sometimes in Nintendo fans, where they'll like not try other
Yeah.
facets of like the gaming industry. F-Zero guys is a different circle. F-Zero
Yeah.
fans are like
Oh,
just skeletons with cobwebs.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like
Or F
F-Zero.
Zero.
I
F Zero
really
is super
like
fun.
it. GX was so good. But then they
I don't know
never
that I ever
made
got
it.
to play that one.
It's really, really good. like the challenging stuff, like it goes like the harder difficulty stuff. It's so difficult, but it has such a high like skill ceiling. Like you can get better so much. Like it's a very masterable game and it's very fun to master.
Hell yeah.
I love games that you can get better and better and better at without having to like study up
Study.
on stuff, yeah, or sit down and grind one technique until you can pull it off consistently. Like games that you get better by playing it normally. I really like
Right.
that, and F-Zero GX was great for that.
Nice. I'll have to try to find a way to play it.
Yeah, it's really good. But
This
kind of
character here is a commission.
oh, cool, cool. Did you design any of him, or was he already like fully developed?
Oh yeah, I got a 3-page long description of like who and what this character was.
Oh, cool, cool. But not
And
like images. You had to like make him real.
right, exactly. He just wanted him to be imposing, and he gave me a color scheme essentially,
Yeah.
and I just kind of ran with it, and they ended up liking it a lot, which made me very happy.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like how he looks like real medieval stuff to an extent. Like it's a very fantasy version, but like the sleeves and the kind of bold colors again. Like people like to reimagine the Middle Ages, making everything like gray and brown and like muted,
Oh yeah,
sober colors when stuff was really flamboyant. And people
definitely.
had like the puffy clothes and
Yeah, and I love that, and I'm a huge fan of medieval attire and just the designs that were coming out of that era.
yeah, I really like you know
Everything.
the way armor was built. They were like adorned in interesting ways. Those kind of rounded shapes and stuff that kind of people kind of look like
Yeah,
turkeys. It was really like
yeah,
way I don't know. It's really characteristic. Sometimes stuff uses stuff like that. There's some Final Fantasy stuff that pulls like Crystal Chronicles kind of stuff that really pulls into that side.
Final
Uh,
Fantasy IV did a good job of that as well.
I dream about location that would take place about locations that would take place in a Zelda world sometimes.
Oh, me too. I often daydream about what the Breath of the Wild 2 map is gonna look like.
Isn't it going to be like based on the Breath of the Wild one, but now there's like the floating stuff and
Yeah,
some
there's floating
layers?
stuff, and supposedly there's gonna be a bunch of underground content.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool because like dungeons was kind of what Breath of the Wild was missing, which I get that like they did the correct thing in focusing development and getting that overworld to flow so well. It was like the most
Yeah,
kind of
God, it was
interesting, organic, flowy overworld in any game. Like it feels so
alive.
yeah, and you always find interesting stuff in organic ways moving through it. It's not like Fallout 3 or something where you're just moving through empty space a bunch and then you stumble upon a place that, you know, here is a place with things in it, okay, and the in between is just flat. No, I mean, I have literal dreams from time to time. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's neat. I remember when I was like a teenager or something, I had like dreams in a kind of a garden place. Well, I was like, what the fuck is this coming from? And then I realized that it worked. There was basically the inside of the castle from Ocarina of Time. Because I played Ocarina of Time when I was like really young, and I didn't really remember because that's like the one area you can't revisit.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's one of the few places in Ocarina of Time, other than like dungeons, that gets locked
Yeah.
off forever after a
Huh.
point.
That's interesting.
So I realized that like the combination of like the stone walls and the water going through and the grassy place like was really reminiscent of that, and I realized, oh, it was that space.
I have a reoccurring dream where I am in a Tomb Raider location. I couldn't tell you which game it's from, but I know it's from Tomb Raider.
Like the main thing I remember, like I had like a bootleg copy of Tomb Raider 3 for the PlayStation. I never
Mhm.
got what the appeal was. Like I was still a kid, I guess, so I didn't get the appeal that some people were getting from Tomb Raider. But I found the gameplay pretty lacking.
I watched somebody play it for the most part.
I mostly remember like mistreating the proletariat because you had your what's the word, your butler.
Oh yeah.
You could like shoot him and lock him in the freezer and shove him in the fireplace and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember I wasn't super into it. But I played the first of the new ones. And it's pretty solid. I enjoyed that. Like the Square Enix modern.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which was, I think, just called Tomb Raider. I bought it.
Yeah,
for,
it was like a
no
reboot
money on Steam, and it was pretty fun. It has this weird thing where it seems to be kind of the story of this really not prepared kind of scientist person who's like super scared and traumatized in the beginning, but gradually becomes a badass.
Mm-hmm.
But gameplay wise, you're immediately a badass. Like it's really powerful. Like you feel really powerful in the game. As soon as you get like the bow and arrow, you're like killing literally tens of like these crazy manhunter people on the island, and because the gameplay, it's one against a bunch of enemies, and it's really, you have a lot of control over your aiming, so you're really powerful. You're kicking their butts immediately. So the arc doesn't really work because in the cutscenes she's going through these changes, but in the actual gameplay she goes from 0 to John Wick in no time. So it kind of would have been more fun to have her just basically be John Wick, like she was actually a complete badass from the start, because that's what the gameplay is.
Oh.
And Tomb Raider is going to be silly in the end of the day. There's actual mystical, like ancient Japanese people like possessing a person, so it's goofy stuff. So Lara Croft just is, at least old Lara Croft, like she just was magically badass from the start.
Yeah, right.
It's one of those characters that you could really humanize. They're like just a ridiculous action person.
Right, yeah. It's like Chuck Norris.
Yeah, you should just go for it, She's just absurdly badass, and they messed with the wrong archaeologists,
Right.
Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, yeah. One day I'm gonna play the other ones. They're actually not expensive at all on Steam, but, I'm gonna give it more time and buy them cheaper. But it is like the Sailor Moon meme from a while back with your character, right? Like I've seen her a bunch. She's from the comic.
Yeah. I saw people doing the Sailor Moon meme thing, and I was like, ooh, I want to do that, but my character.
Yeah, a bunch of people did like their characters and stuff. That was right when I got into Twitter. I remember that was like the first art meme. As soon as I joined Twitter. And okay, like the final piece now. I don't know if it kind of got compressed into very small. No, it's okay. So these were the comic characters.
Yeah, these are all my comic characters. I just took a good long time and tried to rip out as many of the characters as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And the grid behind them doesn't really mean anything other than just to be a grid there.
Yeah, no, I do that sometimes just to give something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, cool. Here they are.
The 4 to the right with the pale blue skin.
Right.
It's the gray guy through the dark blue guy.
Yeah.
Are the gods of the universe.
Cool.
And then everybody else is pertinent to the story.
Yeah. Is this a kid or like a halfling?
It's a kid.
Alright.
His title is the Infant King.
Alright. Probably gonna get assassinated in by historical precedent. It's not a great life expectancy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can, by the way, if you wanna like link your Twitter so people can
Oh,
see your comment and everything. It's going to be on the VOD too, so people who watch on the VOD can. Usually I get a lot more views on the VOD than in real
okay.
time. I have dreamt of a battlefield where there's tons of swords stuck in the ground and torn down ruins in the middle of the Master Sword in the pedestal. I've also dreamt large lakes surrounded by mountains with narrow openings. Inside there are fish with nozzle-like fronts and backs that drink. Backs that like they drink from the back. Burst water out of their fronts and back. Just look really elaborate. So it's kind of giving me Hieronymus Bosch kind of vibes.
Huh.
Like, you know, those really like dreamy, crazy creatures that he would draw.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
a huge garden with a bunch of tiny naked people and like weird, fantastical creatures. Lastly,
Yeah.
and my favorite is a forest with a mountain poking through the top with a large hollow tree on the top. The inside of the tree is a dungeon and there's very strange monsters hunting you in the dark. I mean, I don't know if that sounds like the best one with the monsters hunting you and all, but
Yeah, right.
unless you're like me, because like I often know that I'm dreaming, like more often than not, I realize that my dreams are dreams.
Yeah.
So I get to just have fun with them and kind of go on stupid adventures. I had such an elaborate dream recently where like I was like, whoa, I wrote that? That's not bad. I was in
I like.
in a kind of medieval-ish, like fantasy-ish kind of, what's it called, like a shop where people like sell antiques and different stuff, and then
Like a curio.
yeah, I don't know what would you call it, but like a group of magicians came through. And then they like did a bunch of magic tricks, and I was kind of worried that they were going to steal something. And then one of the dudes kind of did a trick where they got a bag where there was a valuable thing that the owner had mentioned inside the bag, and did a bunch of tricks. And I was like worried that they stole the thing, like the valuable thing. So I went there and checked for it, and it was still there. But then the owner was like, "Oh shit, this is a really good fake. Like this is a fake of the thing." And he like realized that, crap, I can't like. If I say the dude stole it, the dude was just going to be like, "Oh, this was a fake," and he just hadn't realized this until now.
Right.
Like I didn't steal anything. So that was like the whole thing. It was like this whole troop of magicians that were like stealing stuff in
Interesting.
creative ways by like making forgeries and stuff. And then like the main magician dude, like he went like to confront him anyway, and the main magician dude was like, "Oh, this is a really shitty forgery. I can't believe you hadn't noticed up until now that it was fake." Just to like add insult to injury.
That's such a great NPC idea.
He was such a dick, and then I woke up and was like, "Oh, that was okay. Like, I'm not a writer, but like that was alright. It was kind of fun."
I just put my Twitter link in the chat.
But that's like Discord app.
Oh yeah.
There's like a Discord, no?
You want me to put it on the Discord server?
Oh no, I meant the thing that you put on chat, on Twitch chat, is a Discord link, no?
Oh. Oh yeah. No. Sorry about that. Curious. How do I just... I want to copy... Oh, copy link. There. Paste. Chat. There we go. Can I delete this one?
No, just leave it there. It's fine. Unless like something you don't want to link.
No, I think it's just I don't know what it goes to.
Isn't it like your Discord profile?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I can delete it if you want.
I don't mind either way.
Okay, I'll just leave it then. So yeah, but I think that Dead Wolf said like a while back. I wanted to like talk a little bit more seriously about it, but we ended up kind of moving on about like things belonging to the culture. But what if the culture is like shit? And,
yeah.
Sometimes the culture is, I mean, going to be shit. But one thing that I think that one aspect to that is that there is no main like centralized authority on whatever story or characters you're involved in. So if you think most of them like have a shitty view of it, you can have your own parallel view that you prefer. Like people right now, we still have this culture of like the canon, the main one. Like people get so upset. Like sometimes I draw Samus in a way, because I draw a lot of Metroid art, I draw Samus in a way that someone finds to be insufficiently sexy. And they get angry about it.
Strange.
And it's like, because like I joke like, oh, the dude being like triggered by not being horny for 1 second, but like they feel that it's kind of an attack against them and kind of a political thing, where I'm trying to say that Samus or video game characters in general shouldn't be sexy to his standards, and that's a culture war against him. And it's like, I have zero problem with people who draw the characters like really sexualized, if that's what they want to do. It's just not my interpretation of the character. It's not how I find her most interesting.
Right.
So I'm doing my version, and you can still do your version. And I'm not like, I don't give a crap about what you're doing or how
the Mortal Kombat. The Mortal Kombat. One of the Mortal Kombat devs calls it boner culture.
That's kind of good, because Mortal Kombat did get better about that. Like they hit rock bottom back in like Mortal Kombat Armageddon.
Oh god.
And they've gotten better since.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
And people were upset about that as well, because they think it's like this fucking culture war where people don't like, they're against like male sexuality, and like, no, it's fine. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
Just people just kind of don't want you being like creepy all the time, and like having like the whole game pander to like, what seems to be a pretty clearly reductive view of women as, the one trait that they all have is sexy. Like, yeah, people don't want that anymore, but you can still have sexy characters, like, Nobody's knocking down the door to like a ecchi anime and saying your characters can be sexy, because they're just not interested in that.
Right.
People are just saying, I would like to play Mortal Kombat if it wasn't super creepy, so how about you make a Mortal Kombat that's not super creepy? And then like the studio is like, yes, we do want your money, we'll do that.
Yeah, it just so happens that like, Mortal Kombat becomes less super creepy and they make a shitload of money.
Playing Dread made me just realize that I'm actually really tired of sexy Samus stuff. Yeah, like it's not my interpretation of the character that I especially enjoy, and I think the kind of Zero Suit design is kind of meh. Yeah. But I'm also not bothered by people. The people who are doing like sexy fan art of Samus, like they have their sexy fan art, pages or whatever, and they can do sexy whatever they want. I'm not going there. Like, I would kind of prefer Metroid if it sexualized Samus less, because I don't even feel like it fits her character or the tone of the games in general.
Right, exactly. I mean, the way I see it is she's pretty much Ridley from Aliens, or Alien, because that's what Metroid was but Metroid inspired by, or was it the other way around?
No, Metro was very inspired by Alien, but Ripley is more of a common person, I think. I feel like Samus, even in the first game, they were like, she's the best bounty hunter in the whole.
She's the bounty hunter messiah.
Yeah, because Ripley, kind of her thing is she's very, she's a very normal person, she's just a laborer, and even in Aliens, like the military dudes are all like full of themselves and think they're going to kick the alien's ass, and
Oh yeah.
she beats
And
the
then they
alien
don't.
with a fucking forklift, basically like a future forklift.
Yeah.
It's because she's the kind of a common person.
Mm.
So I don't know how much they're the same person, but like the same kind of character. But there's no reason for Samus to be sexy, like or
Yeah,
try
for sure.
to. Oh yeah, Ripley. Like I assumed you misspoke. Like Ridley is the director. Ripley.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat to Mortal Kombat, except about the violence stuff. I don't know. I don't know what Horlick meant by that. But yeah, I haven't played Red yet, so I don't know how Samus is depicted in that. I kind of doubt they will change much because I feel like the Zero Suit kind of design.
Yes,
It's
the Zero
good
Suit-
for like
It's-
promotion. People drawing a ton of
Yeah.
horny fan art, it's like free advertisement.
Yeah, I mean the Zero Suit hardly shows up in the game.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty much just the power suit from what I've experienced so far. There's no like, you're out of your suit kinds of missions or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just like, in the other games, you'd only see Samus outside the armor in like the good endings, where it was like
Right.
a reward for finishing the game fast was like, oh, you get to see Samus without the armor, like, okay, thanks.
Gee, thank you.
Cool. Which.
Yeah, in this one she's just like
She's not sexualized
super-
at all, nice.
Yeah, no, she's super cold, like kick-ass bounty hunter lady that has no fucks at all for anything.
Yeah, that's cool. I also, sometimes in the fan base there's like people who are like Samus should be a total badass, no feelings, which I also don't really feel because I feel like her characterization is kind of that she has compassion.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't kill the Metroid and that looks like it's going to be bad, but then the Metroid saves her back, and oh look, it's paid back. The Metroid was also not a killing machine. It also had the ability of empathy
Oh yeah.
and creating
It's-
bonds. So I feel like Samus is not like just badass, but that doesn't mean she's like sexy lady.
Yeah, the way they pull it across in Dread is very much so like that she's just trying to get it done.
Yeah, and I think that's valid, especially because most Metroid games there's not going to be like that much characterization for Samus because she's not a speaking protagonist.
Right.
So that's fine. Just I hope they did in fact not use like using Samus without the suit as like a reward
Oh yeah.
for like the good endings because that's dumb.
I agree.
But I think we're past that, and they don't need. I don't think that's the smart move either because you don't need to do that to get the free advertising from horny fan art. You can just have the design in there, and they'll still do it.
Right.
But see, this is why I do take issue with Sexy Samus. Some of it is just whatever, but a lot of it is her being vulnerable and helpless, and other stuff along these lines.
Oh yeah.
But it's the complete. Is it? I don't know her being vulnerable and helpless thing. Like there's the section in Zero Mission where you don't have the suit, and like of course you are fragile at that point, but you still invade their the pirate ship
Yeah.
and get your
Oh,
suit
yeah.
back by your own
She still
strength.
kicks
like,
ass.
Yeah, like she's unarmed. I don't have a problem with that being the thing.
I think what they're saying is less of like they have a problem with that and more of it's like people often draw Samus as being helpless.
Oh, is that okay? Yeah, I get that. And also, yeah, sometimes they give her like a really girly kind of moe face. It's like, what Metroid game did you play? Like, what is this?
Yeah, exactly. Did
She
you
has this-
only ever take damage in Smash Brothers?
It's like the completely fucking round anime face. I'm talking about porn artists. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, porn culture is super messed up and sexist. Like, I'm sure there is. Like, I hear from people that there is porn that isn't like super shitty, but
It's just
I just
it's such
I just
strange
stopped
market.
watching porn without having ever like found that. I never came across that when I did watch it, so
Yeah.
I'm sure there is something, but it's certainly not like the dominant culture is like very shit.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's
Also, porn
just
memes
kinda-
allow me to do it. What are porn memes?
oh god, like the Anka meme.
What's Anka?
She's an Animal Crossing character.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's bad.
This
Dude.
already started off bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no!
Or they'll take like H manga and put like sandwiches and shit over the just as censorship.
Oh, I saw Tumblr.
Dude,
I saw Tumblr.
Like constructed.
I
Yeah.
There was a Tumblr page that was called Sandwich Censors, and it was just a bunch of. Are you not able? Did you say H manga because you can't say that word in like?
Huh?
Yeah, on Twitch. But anyway, there was a bunch of manga where it was just they just turned it into like women eating sandwiches very sloppily. They were very
That's-
bad at eating sandwiches.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. Like I didn't follow it or anything, but I saw it once, and
Yeah.
I did get a
it's-
laugh out of that. It was pretty well done.
It's fun to take the piss out of stuff, but it gets to a point where it's just like, that's alright, there's the line and it's been drawn. Please stop crossing it.
I mostly mean ones where it's like, if you know, hint, hint, wink, wink. Oh, I think I know at least one of those, which was like the guy standing behind the couch with a girl standing in front.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't have to have watched the original one to kind of guess the idea. I understood that was from porn.
The framing is suggestive as is.
Yeah, you kind of get what that's going to be. And from the context of the joke, you get like, oh, that's a porn thing.
Yeah. I think a lot of artists resort to that because it's a quicker way to end up making money doing commissions.
Oh, absolutely. It seems like if you look at artists, like based on like their ability, how good they seem to be and how many followers and stuff they have. Not safe for work, or at least like sexy drawings, even if there's no actual explicit stuff.
Right.
They definitely seem to get like more
Oh, yeah,
relative stuff. So you get that bag, go for it. Nothing but
It's,
I have no
sex
problem.
sells.
Absolutely, and it's like this model of thing that I'm doing is my best-selling kind of commission easily. The RPG thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it has a purpose. It has a suggested use.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and that's
people
why I do
look
it as well.
at it, So people look at it and they think, oh, I have an RPG character, even if the vast majority of my followers don't really play tabletop RPGs. The ones who do look,
Right.
oh, I have an RPG character, and they already know a thing to commission. So if you do sexy art, they're like, oh, I have like an OC, because a lot of people have like sexy OCs and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I was just wanting to, a couple days ago, I was looking at your profile on Twitter,
Yeah.
and was thinking about commissioning you back open for one of my comic characters.
Yeah.
But I love doing it. It's I love fantasy. I love character design, and I really enjoy the making people happy with realizing their characters. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really rewarding. Like people are so happy whenever you give their commission. Like I've never had like people are always like super happy with commissions. Because I think yeah, you're making a thing real.
Exactly. And I had somebody that had come up to me that was essentially like, "Hey, can you draw my World of Warcraft character?" And agreed to it. Not, I'm not big into World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
like at all, and I accepted the commission, being like, "Yeah, this should be fun. It's classic high fantasy, whatever." And I saw how much detail goes into all of those characters, and was like, "Oh no."
Oh really? It's like it's kind of a low poly game. I would think it couldn't be like that complicated.
They wanted like, uh, they wanted concept art level stuff, so it was like, they wanted all the fiber texture on the coats or scratch marks on them armor and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That commission took me the better part of a month to do.
Yikes.
They were like, here's a shitload of money, do as much as you possibly can on it. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, okay then. Gotta pay the bills.
Yeah. I might soon do like a full sprite sheet in the style of Marvel vs. Capcom for like a YouTube channel.
Oh, that would be awesome.
The like animate fight, like they were, we are in the talks about that. So yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's also like a ridiculous amount of work. There's going to be like 5 or 6 times more work than any commission I've ever done.
Oh yeah. And stuff.
Oh yeah, they're super detailed. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought World of Warcraft didn't even have like the texture quality to be that detailed.
Yeah, well, right. It does now. It didn't before.
Oh, they've been upgrading it. I thought like you could run that on like anything.
Oh man, yeah, not anymore. I think they changed the launcher for it, so you used to be able to run Warcraft on like a phone, and now you can't run it on. I can't run it on either of the computers I have here.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's intense now. It's really frustrating.
It's kind of odd because I always feel like the market dominant thing is always going to be like really easy to run. Like Fortnite, you can run Fortnite on a phone and still like the most played multiplayer online game.
Oh yeah, and Minecraft, like when it jumped to the phone, that's when it got popular.
Yeah, because a bunch of people just have a phone.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, what's this Minecraft game?" And then they get it and they're like, "Huh, there's a computer version. I wonder if it's any different." Yes, it is.
Yeah, I never played it on a phone, but it must be really tough. I don't know how people play like Fortnite style games on the phone. Like kids must have. I would probably look at a kid playing a game on a phone the way my parents looked at me playing Super Nintendo. Like, how are you even doing this?
How does that even mentally exist in your mind?
Yeah, how do you do what you want to do with that thing in your hand? Because like the phones games that I've played are like very basic, like clicky kind of controls, or maybe there's like one false analog stick on one side and 2 buttons on the other.
Yeah,
but
I played Chrono Trigger on my phone.
That's wild. They released like a really long time ago Mega Man X for phones, and it was like laggy and horrible and low on screen at that time, and you couldn't play it. It was absolute garbage. It's like the worst way. Like, just don't play Mega Man X if that's all you're going to play.
I love Mega Man X. It's so good.
Yeah, it's like an all-time classic game. But like, even at that time, like phones could emulate Super Nintendo in real time, but they made it with like flash graphics, so it was like HD.
Oh.
But it was super choppy and laggy and slow and weird. And of course, you can
play
a
Newgrounds game.
Yeah, because like you're holding, like you need really elaborate like D-pad controls and like 3 buttons. that you're pressing, like jump, dash, and shoot. You're pressing like them all at the same time.
Yeah.
So how do you play that on a phone?
Right.
If you could, if I, if I could, I'd probably get Marvel's Capcom 2 themed sprite from you at some point. Yeah, but it's like ridiculously expensive. Like they're doing it because they have like a YouTube channel, and even then, when they asked how much they think, like how much would this be, like my original answer was no.
Yeah.
My first answer was like too much. Definitely more than you. But they like pressed it and said like, what would like $300? And I was like, okay, $300. That's more like that's actually possible. Mega Man X Dive was designed for a specific cell phone in mind, built-in controller. Very strange decision. Very weird. I didn't know about that. I saw on my friend's a smartphone that didn't have a controller and was like awful to play, and it also ran like crap.
That's tragic.
Uh,
Capcom's really good about that, though.
a lot of things seem very. We need to make it very hard to keep playing her. I don't feel like that at all. I feel like I played it fine as a kid. It's probably kind of what kind of game like you're good at. Like my girlfriend, for example, like does really bad at platformers because like she kind of grew up with RPGs, so she's really good at that kind of stuff. But platforming stuff just trips her up, and she ends up getting kind of frustrated.
Interesting.
Well, for me, it's like my most comfortable type of game. Just because I know I grew up like playing platformers. That's
Oh yeah.
the thing I most
I
played
mean-
on like Super Nintendo.
My first game was A Link to the Past.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my dad had had a SNES emulator on his computer, and had gotten from a friend literally every single Super Nintendo
Yeah,
on a
you-
CD.
Yeah, you could put like basically the whole Super Nintendo library on one CD, so people did that.
and I just played Link to the Past for hours and hours and hours. And then when I was a little bit older and able to kind of comprehend space in a video game, my uncles were playing Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, "What is this?" And they were like, "It's Zelda." And I was like, "What? No, that's not what Zelda looks like. This is insane."
Oh, yeah.
It was really nice to get Majora's Mask, the remake on the 3DS,
Yeah.
because it's like exactly how I remember it looking as a kid.
Oh, right, because they upped the graphics a bit. I haven't played like the DS versions, but I played Majora's Mask enough time as a kid. Like, I had the Super Nintendo because in Brazil we were kind of lagging behind a little bit. So but I didn't get like we were catching up by the time the N64 came around, so I got to play them not that late, but while I was still a kid on the N64.
Interesting.
I was like 6 when Ocarina came out, 8 when Majora's Mask came out, and it wasn't that much later that I played them, so I was still a kid.
I was born in '99, so
Yeah. Yeah, so you were born, a year before Majora's Mask, a year after Ocarina of Time. Yeah, no. I'm an old, so I was around.
and old.
But I still got Super Nintendo, which is really nice because that is the generation that is really like my thing.
Oh yeah, I love Super Nintendo. That's what my dad raised me on, was Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm more of a 2D person, so like by the time N64 and GameCube and stuff was out, I was still playing a ton of emulated Super Nintendo. So all the games like Link to the Past just never came across it when I was a kid, so I played it on emulator in like the early 2000s. I actually played it after Ocarina.
Interesting.
So then I played Zelda 1, I played like Super Nintendo and NES. I played
Do you ever play Zelda 2?
tons. Yeah, I actually like.
What are your thoughts on that?
I like it.
Oh, really?
That I would definitely say, yeah, a bit overly difficult. But
For
I think
sure.
it's such an interesting, different game, and it's so NES.
Oh, yeah.
The way that you're like discovering stuff with very few clues, and it's really tough. So it really feels like an accomplishment to get to a certain point to progress in the game.
Definitely. I also very much so enjoy Zelda 2. I I've heard that there's a creator somewhere out there that wants to properly remake Zelda 2 and make it bearable.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell like a modern gamer. Yeah, definitely go play Zelda 2. You have to be really into like old school, kind of tough, or
Yeah.
sometimes pretty unfair games.
I would say if you like Hollow Knight and you want more punishment, play Zelda 2.
Yeah, again, Hollow Knight, pretty tough game, but very fair game.
Yes.
Never feels like cheap. I actually
Yeah, it's
kind
always
of
like, fuck, that was my fault.
yeah, it really feels like your fault. In a way that maybe it's because I'm not as good at 3D games, but I don't often like. I feel like in Dark Souls, you're just gonna die the first time that you see stuff
Mhm.
because you just
Regardless.
have to run into them until you learn all their different little animations because it's like arbitrary. You can't
Right.
like predict from the wind up what an attack's going to look like. You have to take it and die a bunch of times and walk back to the boss. So it just kind of bored me. Like I have this obnoxious kind of competitive thing where I won't drop the game until I've beat the
Oh,
boss
yeah.
that beat me. But all the times that I tried Dark Souls, I dropped it after beating a really difficult boss because I'm like, okay, I beat it, so I can drop it now. But
Yeah.
I don't wanna go to the next one. I just don't feel like doing the cycle again.
Right, yeah. I with Hollow Knight, I spent like 2 years playing that game, like really just grinding the shit out of that game.
Really? I did. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Maybe because I'm like a Metroid nerd, so I'm like used to it. Because it really didn't take me. Like my girlfriend kind of got stuck and dropped it as well, but she's not so into platformers.
I got stuck on a
like-
particular boss with Hollow Knight.
Really? Which one?
The tank beetles near the end of the game's main storyline. It's like a room with 6 or 7 beetles that roll one
Right.
by one on like a time on a
Right.
timer.
And that's the one where like the dude helps you if you unlocked him,
Really?
isn't it? Like in the garden, like Queen's Garden.
No. You don't get help with that one. You get help with
Okay, I might have mixed it up. I started a second
get-
save, but then I haven't progressed too much on it. Sorry, which one? Yeah, there's one in King's
It-
Garden where like the fat dude that you help, kind of helps you with that. So
Okay.
I was probably thinking of something else then. Yes, that's Queen's Garden, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think that's what you're talking about. I don't really remember this one then.
Yeah, it was like they were controlled by a red fog or an orange fog that like drained into their eyeballs. And then they woke up and started bouncing and rolling at you. And then after about 10 or 15 seconds, another and start doing the same thing but in a different like at a different time than the other one, so they were out of sync.
Yeah, I don't really. Maybe I didn't see that boss. Are you sure it's a required boss? Because I really don't remember that one.
I'm almost certain it's up in. Oh gosh, hold on, let me look it up.
It's like the place that gets infected later, like the early place.
No, I think it's further to the right on the map than that.
There's like the mines to the right of that. Then down and to the right, there's like the spirit place. I'm not being able to think of what that is. I was GameCube era when I was old enough for games, but luckily I still had my older brothers in 64. Yeah, like I played a lot of stuff way after the time. Like I wasn't even born in the NES era. Never saw an NES. I've literally never fucking seen an NES. But I've played like most NES games that are, at all famous. and I like a bunch of them. Some of my favorite games, like Punch Out for the NES, is such a good game.
Huh. I can't say I've ever played it.
The game is fucking fascinating. There's just so much to it because it's just boss battles, and there's so much to all of them, and like there's like 10 different levels of expertise for you to like learn them more deeply and get through them more efficiently.
Oh,
It's like
okay, I found it.
It's everything that I love about game design. Yeah, post it on chat that everybody can see because I just don't remember that one. It's nothing's coming to mind. I'm sure I just fucking forgot though.
Yeah, it's the Watcher Knight.
The Watcher Knight. Love Punch Out. Yeah, Punch Out's super good. The Wii one is also very good. I didn't like Super Punch Out when I played it, but I didn't try it that much.
I played the Wii Punch Out with Donkey Kong.
That's really good. I'd say the Wii Punch Out is pretty similar to the NES one. Of course, like it's a different era of gaming, so it gets less points.
Yeah.
For being basically the exact same game design. Oh, okay. Right. Like the fog goes down when possesses them. So yeah, like you beat one and then like a couple at a time, like one, then two at a time, then three at a time or something.
Yeah, and it's awful. It's such a hard fight.
I don't specifically remember having that much of a hard time, but like, have you made it to the arena? Like, really on the top right of the map?
Oh, with the... I know what you're talking about. I haven't even touched that stuff.
Yeah, there's like 3 levels of the arena. The first 2 I was like, okay, I beat like the first one first try, second one like second time or something. Third one was like 20th try.
Whoa.
And I didn't get out of there. That's like my hot-headed kind of thing with games. I don't like to grind my way past stuff. I didn't want to get any stronger. I was like, I think it's technically possible to beat it the way I got to the arena the first time. So I just banged my head against it like 20, 30 times until I beat it. But I was having fun.
Gauge my attached to your character to make their effects change. The badges?
Yeah, that you stole from Paper Mario, which you rightly so. I've been telling people to steal the badges from Paper Mario for a long time.
Oh yeah,
that's such a good system awesome. Where like
it's so cool.
Gradually, it makes you switch up your build a lot, and I really like passives. The thing I really like Gen 3 Pokemon when they added passives. I really like passives. Also Fire Emblems when they added passives. Some people like made ROM hacks of the GBA ones to add passives back to those games.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I love that kind of mechanic. Dead Wolf, I love Punch Out. Watch the History of Blind speedruns. I've already watched that, yes.
Yeah.
I like speedrun history stuff. So yeah, I've watched the History of Blind Punch Out speedruns.
Some of the most fun speedruns, at least I think my favorite speedrun to watch is Wind Waker.
Really? I never really, I've seen the history of Wind Waker speedruns and stuff about it, but it's not a game that I have watched speedruns of. I really like Mario 64 speedruns. The movement is fascinating.
Oh yeah.
It's so beautiful to watch the movement. It's so pure gameplay.
With Wind Waker, it's like they're doing this thing like pause jumping or pause skipping, and so what you do is you are in the water and you just barely come up onto land and pause a shitload of times, and it builds and builds and builds your momentum until it just slings you across the ocean as fast as possible.
Yeah, like swimming backwards, right?
Yes.
yeah, that's wild. Yeah, like Zelda, Metroid Prime, the kind of these games of this era that were very structured. They're usually very glitch-based speedruns.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's the way it becomes more dynamic.
Yeah, and then there's Skyrim where it's push a plate and yourself through the wall and voila, you've beaten the game.
Yeah, but I would argue that the correct way to play Bethesda games is by absolutely destroying them.
Oh, thoroughly agreed.
That's what they were made for. I love how they just left console commands in because sometimes they're going to be game-breaking glitches. Like I don't remember if it's Skyrim or Oblivion that I just had to like teleport through a door because the game just broke. A door just became unopenable. And then I was like, okay, I'm glad console commands like work because then I can just teleport to my next objective and like phase through this door.
I've had bosses become unkillable NPCs in Skyrim.
Really? Yikes.
Yeah, their code just gets flip-flopped or something like that with your partner, and they can't die.
That's great. That's good. Not you, the other guy. Oh, I don't know, but we've both watched it, I guess.
Yes, I have seen the speedruns.
I think sliding in Wind Waker HD gives it really interesting movement. I don't know that one. I know they found like a way to get into like Hyrule Castle early on HD first, but then they found a way to also do it on GameCube to get through like the portal. That's like not portal, the kind of force field thing. In like they found it first in HD, but then they found it on GameCube as well. I think. But yeah,
versions of Wind Waker because they patched glitches and added new ones.
Yeah, that's good.
Nintendo's also got a really good, like, if it doesn't fuck the game up, but it's fun, they usually keep it in, especially with Zelda games.
Yeah, I remember the guys who did the DS remake saying that they like programmed it so they still had the glitch for some Ocarina of Time stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of it was for the speedrunning community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's neat.
Which is awesome. It's super cool. Grezzo, yeah.
But yeah, like the Super Metroid glitches, like some of them, there is like ways to kind of go like the any percent like glitch is allowed. Speedrun is like you get speed boosted and you go back to near the start of the game to kind of clip through a wall. It's super difficult to clip through walls in Super Metroid, but it is possible in really specific weird ways. And then they kind of go off screen and kind of navigate off screen. And then you also need X-ray visor so you can like in a specific location of off screen you'll be overlaying the correct data. Then you turn on X-ray visor to like cycle through the values for that data for some reason, and then you turn the state of the world into the planet it is exploding, and you just jump into the ship and go away.
What the hell?
Which is kind of funny.
Have to look that up.
Because the result is the same, basically.
Right, yeah.
As if you play the game normally, the planet explodes, it's fine. Cell just exploding the planet by like phasing into the matrix and reprogramming the world with her X-ray beams.
That's amazing. I love that.
So that's ridiculous, but like a bunch of other glitches just make the game a little bit more free-form. Mm-hmm. Like let you do different sequences or like skip Poison Spawn, which is like the slowest mini boss in the game.
It's I mean, like Breath of the Wild's speedrunning stuff is just insane to watch.
Yeah, and some of those, like, because there's like phasing through shrines and stuff, and okay, so that's a glitch. But some stuff like hitting a tree a bunch with stasis and then like being launched by it. Like some stuff is like arguably not a glitch, it's just using the mechanics.
Exactly. It's like shield jumping, if you know what that is.
Yeah,
where you shoot an enemy with an arrow and then you just
because
the physics engine.
The physics calculate for it in slow motion, but then in the transition it gets like hyper speeded.
And people have figured out how to aim that like perfectly at the castle.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. There's also like N64 Rare games they did a thing where to combat lag, the games like the real speed, like the quote real speed within like the fiction of the game gets faster, so your speed seems constant even though there's lag. They just speed everything up, you know. They make just all the speed values faster to compensate for the lag, which very, very clever and good way for Rare. So like you look at Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong 64 versus Mario 64, like how much prettier that is. But that means that within the fiction of the game, like Donkey Kong is actually moving absurdly fast, and it's possible to lag the game so much by like throwing a bunch of explosives that Donkey Kong is moving so fast it just phases through doors. Like
goodness.
From one frame to the other, you just move the whole length of the door. So people just throw a bunch of oranges and then like phase through the door like the Flash. Just like, because you're so fast, you never even touch the door technically. Even though
atoms don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, he looked like he was in normal speed, but in real life he was in light speed. His mass became 0, and he just
Photon Kong.
Yeah. I wonder if that's honestly real intention or just an excuse.
Oh, for Grezzo keeping glitches in Ocarina of Time in Majora's Mask.
Yeah. No, but I actually saw someone say that like, oh, they said they were using the original code, but actually they weren't, or something, like using that statement. And I think that's just like kind of poorly expressed. Like, they didn't use the original code, so they had to specifically make sure the glitches still happen.
Yeah.
Like a few years ago, for fun, I was sick, and I wasn't doing art for work yet, so I just decided to reproduce the original Metroid on Game Maker.
Oh.
And I made like the engine from the original Metroid. I'm never doing anything with it because Nintendo fucking sucks and they don't deserve fan games.
Oh, immediately taken out.
Yeah, they also, even if they don't deserve fan games for their games. Fuck them.
Yeah, I understand that. All of the Zelda fan games that have looked so kick-ass over the years that have just gotten scraped off of the internet by Nintendo, it's seriously upsetting.
Yeah, it sucks. Like the amount of effort that goes into a fan game. Like nobody should make a Nintendo fan game unless they are ready to like reskin it into their own game, which they should absolutely do.
Yeah, I mean Egoraptor, when he was talking about, if you know who Egoraptor is.
Yeah.
When he was talking about Ocarina of Time in his Sequelitis video.
Yeah.
With the Goron and leading it through like the fire temple with food and having it protect you and blah 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 blah. And, you know, he was furious that Ocarina of Time didn't do something like that with its Gorons, and then in Breath of the Wild that's exactly what the fire dungeon is. Like,
I didn't remember
verbatim.
that from Sequelitis.
They, like verbatim, that's what happens in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I didn't remember that because it was such a long time after that I played the game. So yeah. But yeah, I was making Metroid, and like I was trying to make all the glitches still be there because Metroid 1 is made of glitches.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, it's a very, very janky game. So there's like bomb jumping where you either a bomb, like bombs launch you a lot, and if either a bomb or an enemy launches you, Samus is just standing. I think until like she clears her original Y position, I think she's still standing. So you can jump. And that means you can kind of bomb and then jump and reach higher places, you know. So that's, you know, just makes it more fun, kind of.
Yeah, you can. Metroid bombs are awesome. It's so fun.
Yeah. So I was trying to.
Not Metroid Prime, but Dread.
Yeah, Prime wanted to keep everything very under control, so that's why the speed run is just like nobody plays it glitchless because it would just be like an efficient playthrough of the game as intended, because it's very very linear, and it's not a game with interesting movement or anything like that. So
yeah, it's a first-person shooter.
Yeah, and it's a really old-fashioned kind of first-person shooter with Ocarina of Time combat, where you're kind of locked on.
Yeah.
So it's not even like
Yeah,
you're getting
for sure.
headshots and moving really fast. Like it's a very slow-paced game, which works for like the atmosphere. Like the good thing on the Prime games is the really cool atmosphere.
Absolutely.
So it works for that because you're moving really slowly and you're like reading data logs. So
Yeah,
it works for that, but
it's-
it's just not a speed game.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
a very, very slow, very frankly linear game, even though it's an open map. It has a very linear idea of where you're supposed to go in order.
Yeah. Have you seen Halo 2's speedruns?
No, but I imagine Halo has like rocket jumps and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I'm not an FPS guy, but I imagine the speedruns must be cool because they have cool stuff like that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, me and my roommate used to spend hours and hours just breaking the map to Halo 2 with rocket launchers and grenades.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
You have like just enough health to get out of the map.
I still can't believe AM2R actually having. Yeah, there was so much effort that they put, and the
Yeah.
game has so much love in it. It has so much more like soul than actual like Samus Returns. So much more creative and interesting, and the world feels so much more like alive and with effort put into it. And Nintendo just took it down. It's just really shitty.
Yeah.
My favorite speedruns are the ones where you you just play at peak efficiency. Yeah, it just has to be like games that are like favorable to that. Like Metroid Prime not only is kind of linear, so you know.
Oh yeah. I mean,
but
it's also like.
not the kind of game like Mario 64. I like 120 stars in Mario 64, like the speedrun.
Mhm.
So you're playing the game. They actually do use like glitches because it's more efficient to start at Bowser, just because you're going to reset there more. So people want to get it out of the way first. So they skip the line, even though like the first Bowser, even though they're going to do everything. But you still, you know, the skip didn't actually shorten the game at all. It's just for
Right.
order's sake. So it's still
Yeah.
playing the game, and it's such like the movement options in the game are so interesting. Like there's so many movement options, but still you're kind of limited because Mario is very heavy and difficult to turn around, so you have to plan your
Yeah.
movement. So it's really interesting. So yeah, that's also I think like kind of my favorite.
Odyssey was beautiful about that.
Yeah, Odyssey was like more built to allow for really creative movement.
Hmm.
Yeah, Nintendo finally let go of that controlling thing where they want you to play the game in the optimal order that we balance for maximum enjoyment. Like, just let people
Hey.
make their own pace. That's fun.
Hmm.
So Zelda
Yeah,
was like
they-
that, Mario was like that, and now Metroid apparently was like that as well, which is good.
Yeah, and gosh, I hope Metroid Prime 4 is more open and vast.
Yeah,
It very well could be super linear, and they were like, look, we gave you the really good 2D game, here's a linear Metroid game with a bunch of story.
that's
Fine,
very
whatever.
possible because Prime kind of basically is like that. But I do really like Metroid Prime, but it's very very different game from Metroid. But yeah, I hope they take a lot of cues from Breath of the Wild. I've been saying that since before Dread was even announced. I was like, I hope Prime 4 takes a lot of cues from Breath of the Wild, creates a bigger world, lets you makes most of the game optional.
Right.
That's fun. That lets you make your own path through it.
Yeah, I love that with Breath of the Wild, like, you can literally just run up to Ganon in your underwear.
Yeah, that's fun. That's like a lot of old school games used to be like that, and I really enjoy that. Like just letting it be more free roaming. Like I felt like Breath of the Wild. I'm sure a lot of other people said this, but it felt like a sequel to the original Zelda and no others.
Yo, yeah, absolutely. I mean, map and all.
Yeah, when it came to like its core, like it has a lot of references to other games, but it felt like the idea where you can just go to places where enemies are going to like destroy you,
Mhm.
and you're kind of discovering interesting stuff by exploring around, and like that feeling of just being able to go anywhere and discovering stuff was very Zelda.
Oh yeah.
And they could do that with Prime 4 and Metroid 1, I was thinking, because Metroid 1, once you have the bomb, you can go literally anywhere in the game.
Huh.
It's like you get missiles, then you get bomb, and now the whole world is open. No other items in Metroid 1 are required at all for progression. They are just extras. They let you get to some extra places to just get more extra items. But when it comes to killing the 2 bosses to open the final world, you just need missiles, bombs, and that's it. Like Morph Ball, which you get in the first 5 seconds of the game, then missiles and bombs. So they should go for that. Be really open. Like Dark Souls is really, everybody loves Dark Souls, but it's a super popular game. A lot of the bosses are optional, a lot of the areas are optional, they let you explore at your own pace, and people find their way. And there isn't even a map in that game, like the original Metroid didn't have. Like I don't think they need to go that far. It could be interesting to have Metroid without a map again, but they don't need to go that far.
That would be painful.
Yeah, could be like hard mode or something. Because
there actually is a hard mode in
recently saw a tweet that shows that the map from Zelda 2 is on Breath of the Wild. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's so many like little Easter eggs in there that I don't doubt that. My favorite speedruns are the one. But how cool would it be if Nintendo made it where there's a way to fight Bowser early if you're just clever? In like Mario 64? Yeah, I think that's like, I'm always in favor of that. I always like having different way to approach stuff and get really good at games. Like that's what I said about like Punch Out. In Punch Out, like the first tournament, you can take like every guy out in the first like 10 seconds, and Punch Out seconds are fast.
Oh yeah.
If you just know really where to hit them and you got their timing down, you're like interrupting their punches and getting star uppercuts out and like destroying them. And, like the Wii one did that as well, so you'll know about it. It's made so when you're already familiar with the game, you can just blast past it.
Yeah.
And Mario, old school Mario does that with warp zones. They wanted to make it so you don't have to replay everything if you're familiar with the game.
With what?
Like warp zones in early Marios is like a less interesting way to do that, because your knowledge is not like being really good at the game movement, it's just knowing where the warp zones are. But they make it so, you can do later runs that are more straight to the end.
Yeah, oh yeah, like you break the top of the map and...
Yeah, and you go over and then there's like a pipe that takes you to World 4, and then the second world of World 4, and you find a plant and it takes you to the sky, and then you go straight to World 8. I
only recently learned about that.
Really? Oh, I used to play, on Super Nintendo, I had Mario All-Stars, so I played the original Mario in that, and then I played it like... But that's an exact remake, it's just different graphics, but it's gameplay-wise, it's identical to NES Mario.
Very cool.
So yeah, that's like a classic gaming thing, walking on top of the second stage of Mario. Like every kid figures that out, it's not that difficult.
Yeah, for sure. It was, oh god. It was just strange. I was playing Mario and a friend had shown it to me and I was like, holy shit, what? This exists? It was probably like 5 years ago, so I guess recent is relative. But
for that, revelation's pretty recent.
Yeah.
You
could beat Super Mario 2 in 15 minutes?
Yeah, they all have. Even Mario 2, which wasn't originally a Mario game, also has warp zones and stuff.
Yeah.
With like the rockets they should take. Mario 2 is really good.
I love Mario 2.
I'm gonna
It
go
was
now.
supposed to be
Take
like
care.
Doki
Hope
Doki
you...
Panic.
Yeah, which is like a Japanese property there. I don't even know. Gotta go now. Take care. Hope you guys have fun and an amazing weekend. See you later. See ya. You can also drop by anytime, or like also drops by the stream sometimes. So if you want next time, we can do like 3 people talking as well. That's also okay.
That would be cool.
Yep. Are you going to stream now? Like, do you have a Twitch set up?
Do I have a Twitch set up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I just gotta get it all set up, man. I wasn't expecting it to be today. I'm happy it was
Yeah.
that we did this. But I want to get it set up to where we can doodle together. And there's a website that allows us to draw on the same canvas.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I think it'd be fun to do some like challenge stuff or mashup stuff.
Yeah.
Like drawing, I don't know, like for instance, Dark Souls bosses in a Zelda art style, or something like that.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. We can also have Arlek over. He also has art there. Yeah, you probably haven't seen his stuff, but yeah, he's also a really good artist. So we can. Who does like?
Yeah. Does he have a Twitter?
Yeah. Pretty sure he's Arlek on Twitter. But yeah, he does video game stuff as well. Also, like if you go to the bottom of my Twitch, there will be like friends channels or something, like people who I host when I'm not online, and Arlek should be one of them.
Oh wow! Yeah, his stuff is awesome.
Yeah, he does really good art. So let's say nice things about Arlek now that he left.
Right? Yeah.
Arlek's so great. He's the best guy ever.
We'll see it. Hopefully, he'll see it in the VOD. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
I would, if we could get some people together, I'd be down for potential Dungeons and Dragons stuff as well.
Like playing D&D?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's just kind of I am already in 2 groups and we barely ever...
Oh, fair enough, yeah.
we barely ever, everybody can do it, so the thing with D&D is like the commitment, right? Because it has to be in the one time, set up ahead of time.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I'm already kind of maxed out at the moment. Unless one of those games like fully falls through, I wouldn't feel like I can commit to like another D&D game.
I get you.
Well,
the offer is always on the table, and I'm willing to DM.
Oh, cool. Yeah. We can, in the future, one of these days, set up a game. But yeah, this is the cool thing about like Twitch. I was talking about like going back to the early stream. Like it's a cool thing because you get to like interact with people. Make it more of a social thing because like Twitter and stuff and creating content. It's very one-sided. It's like your interaction with people is people saying, "Cool, I like the thing you make," and you're like, "Thanks."
Yeah. Sweet.
Which is nice, but it's cooler to the people who actually wanna talk for an extended period of time, just having a place to do that. Because you remember that on Tumblr, whenever people talked to me, I would talk and I would answer asks. Asks were so good. Like you technically have that mechanic on Twitter, but it's just not used. It's not like part of the culture.
Huh.
Where you can like add someone in the answer.
Oh yeah.
But people don't do that. On Tumblr it's right up there, and it's like a part of the culture that when people have like followers at all, they'll like answer asks publicly, and that's a cool way to engage with the community.
Yeah.
Tumblr had the best mechanics. Like I love the asks. I love the fucking queue. It's so good. Just be able to like, put a bunch of stuff and it will post it.
Manageable.
Yeah, it's like efficient and it's friendly to like content creators, whatever. Because like Instagram, I fucking hate Instagram so much.
Oh, it's evil.
I hate
They
it.
are.
I hate
Didn't
it.
they
I
just?
hate it so much.
Didn't they just come out with like paperwork that says that Instagram is like mentally harming people?
Yeah, like a woman had to like defect, like it's a dictatorship. So she had like fucking
Yeah.
jump the border with papers that she stole to like prove that they did like internal studies to like check if Instagram is awful for like the mental health of teenagers, and if Facebook is like helping proliferate like false misinformation and stuff. And they concluded yes on both fronts and did not take any action based on it. They were like, okay, cool, good to know.
Wow.
Let's keep doing it. Yeah, that's why I'm not on Facebook. Like, fuck them. But
Yeah. How
also,
tyrannical.
yeah, and like, yeah, they don't give a shit. It's like Shell, I think. Back in the 70s, they did a study when they were like, yep, burning fossil fuels and, you know, putting carbon in the atmosphere is causing global warming and we'll have like that. Like back in the 70s, they concluded that internally and continued to lobby against like legislation to move away from fossil fuels until like they were ready to like be the people in control of the new market.
Wow. That's
There's some real
despicable.
Yeah, that's full on evil.
That's some Inspector Gadget shit right there.
Yeah, that's totally awful. So I don't know how like people justify it to themselves to even take part in that. Like I know corporations aren't like people; they are a machine made of assets that use people as like computing power to become bigger. But you know, there's still people in that mechanism who, you know, taking the individual decisions that are still awful and that. Like how do you still do that? Like how's that worth anything? Like how do you justify that to yourself? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I at all now is just because of family that otherwise I can't contact.
Yeah. No, like people often don't have like a choice. Like I'm on Instagram because, you know, Tumblr went down
Yeah.
and, you know, I had 10k followers there that just went by. So I had to jump ship to Twitter, you know. If Twitter, you know, doesn't work for that for whatever reason, you know, a thing happens and art doesn't go on Twitter anymore. Like I need to have some like early beginnings. Like I really neglect my Instagram, but need to have some place to start to make a transition and try to exist somewhere else, you know.
Absolutely.
You don't really have a choice if you're making your money, you know, in that stuff.
Yeah. I haven't figured out Twitter at all. I granted don't post a whole lot to my Twitter just because I don't understand a lot of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird to get found on Twitter because it's not very hashtag heavy. So it really helped me that I was able to like get like 300 or 400 people from my Tumblr.
Yeah.
To get like a starting, you know, to like jump starting a car, but like
Right. Yeah.
like the people pushing.
A little spotlight or a flashlight in the phone. It's like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, so at the beginning of something. I'm still using Tumblr as much as before it died, yeah, but I mean, I tried for a while, but just people weren't seeing stuff anymore. The people who I follow just weren't posting anymore, so it's like 3 or 4 accounts still active at all, and a lot of just those accounts that just like it's a robot that posts like 70 sci-fi art or like old Disney and stuff. You know, that kind of stuff's still working, but most of the artists are just not posting there anymore.
Right.
So I just kind of dropped it, unfortunately. I know there's still some people there, but I'm not keeping it up to date anymore. Just because I suck at it, and at some point I have to choose some to be up to date. So right now it's Twitter and ArtStation. ArtStation as the actually good gallery, and Twitter as the like communications place, finding new people place.
God, I just gotta post more in general. I don't know.
Yeah, Twitter is a kind of, you know, always be posting kind of website. They even like unfollow, they make people unfollow you automatically if they haven't engaged with you in a while.
Oh, wow.
You can just not post anything and lose followers. And it's like I get if I post something like people follow me for Smash Persona, and then I post one too many not Smash Persona things that's not to their taste, and they're like, okay, I don't want to follow you anymore. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like not posting stuff for a while, and it seems like that's the moment where I most lose followers.
Huh.
And it's like, who woke up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night, like, oh my god, Gilhermian Arts hasn't posted anything in a while. I gotta unfollow them. Like, nobody does that. They don't remember I exist. So it's definitely Twitter doing that. By the way, I mispronounced my name as a joke because people don't know how to pronounce it. My name is not Gilhermian.
No, I figured. I also have trouble pronouncing your name.
Portuguese has a bunch of weird phonemes that other languages don't use, so I just let people be. I don't want people to like have to learn my name. I should have come up with like an internet name and just use my real last name.
You should, or just put like phonics.
Yeah, but like who knows? I don't know phonetic alphabets.
That's fair.
But yeah, it's Guilherme, my name. So it has a L sound that I just don't know how to communicate to people. The LH is L.
Yeah.
So yeah. Some people just call me Gil. So for some reason, like people who don't know how to say my name, like usually abbreviates it to like Gil. I guess assuming that because there's two consonants, they must be in different syllables. But they're actually not. It's actually Guilherme. But I kind of like Gil.
Yeah.
It's like money from Capcom games.
Final Fantasy.
Oh no, yeah, Final Fantasy, right? What's Capcom?
Is it Zenny?
Zenny, that's right. Got it mixed up.
Yeah, I love like in-universe money and being able to tell like what universe you're in because of its currency. Because it's the currency between Cowboy Bebop and Space Dandy is the same thing.
Oh, really? I may not have gone far enough in Space Dandy.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
Really, I noticed that people really liked it. Then I went to watch it and just didn't enjoy it as much because it's more of a comedy. And like anime comedy, there are a few I like, but it's usually just not my thing.
Yeah, I mean the thing about Space Dandy is it has.
Oh, sorry, it's just a comment. I knew you as Germ from the Tumblr days. Yeah, I used to just put Guy, because Guy is what people usually abbreviate Guilherme down to. So I put Guy RM, which are my initials, and I just made it Germ. So yeah, sorry.
What was I saying?
About Space Dandy and what you.
Oh yeah. It takes a minute. For sure.
Oh, really?
I think the first half of season 1 takes a second to kind of like warm up, and then it really gets into it and just gets fucking wacky.
Yeah, maybe I can give it another try. Like I like the authors so much, like Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo are such great all-time classics, you know. So
I love the I just love absurdist comedy.
Yeah, so I don't know as much. I know I like some stuff that's like absurd, like Monty Python or some stuff. I like the English stuff, like a bit of Fry and Laurie.
Oh yeah,
like that.
Toast of London.
The kind of silly, kind of crazy. But I don't know. There are some anime comedies that I like. Like I'm trying to think. I like Azumanga Daioh, I like Ouran, I like Nishiju has some good stuff, like absurdist stuff.
What
else?
Konosuba.
I absolutely loathed Konosuba.
You loathe it?
I thought it was awful. Like I watch like Mother's Basement sometimes, And
Yeah.
sometimes I like, sometimes I disagree. I'll usually mostly disagree with like an anime YouTuber because I'm definitely not into anime enough to be an anime YouTuber, so they're going to be more tolerant to anime stuff than me. But he's always talking about how great Konosuba is, and I tried. I watched like 3 episodes, and I absolutely hated it. Apparently, Blag and Sag also disliked Konosuba. I thought it was so bad. So yeah, I feel like that I might just not like Space Dandy. I guess we just don't have the same taste because for like anime comedy, I hated it so much.
Oh man, I understand how one could definitely not like Konosuba. It's got some pretty grating stuff in it.
Yeah,
whether it be the characters or the comedy.
I found everyone about it grating. I found a lot of stuff's just gross.
Yeah, for sure. It's like gross out humor.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like the creepy stuff with like the girl who's a sadist and the dude.
Oh yeah.
And then them getting like eaten with some like weird slimy thing, like they get all slimy because they were eaten, and it was like weird. People see this guy and 2 girls covered in slime, like assume that he molested them or something.
Yeah.
Because I guess they live in like a fucking hentai world where like, why would you? What?
It's just bizarre.
They're covered in slime. What are you talking about? I immediately hated it so much.
It's just a big eye roll.
Yeah, it's like, yikes. This is very much not for me. So I don't know. I've liked some more like slice of lifey thing, I guess. This, like based on the examples I gave. Those are like I haven't watched like that many comedies, so like I'm thinking of the ones I did. There's a pretty obscure one, I guess, that I watched that was called Love Lab, which is
Say it again.
Love Lab, which is like a girl who's never had a boyfriend, but another girl like assumes that she has, and like she's really experienced with lab. But they're like early teenage years, and none of them like they're both like in that teenage mode where you're kind of pretending that you're not completely clueless about this stuff.
Right.
So it's someone who knows nothing about dating trying to teach the other person how to like fall in love with boys and how to get into a romantic situation. So neither of them have any idea. Like the one who wants to be taught, like all her ideas like come from like TV and shoujo manga. And the other one just has no fucking clue what she's doing, and she's trying to teach her.
The other one, the first one is Jester from Critical Role.
Oh, I haven't watched Critical Role yet.
Oh, it's an endeavor, but it's worth it.
Yeah, my friends say it's really good, so I gotta sit down, listen to it at some point. It's definitely on my to listen to list. So yeah, it's just kind of what's it called when you're empathically embarrassed for someone else, Yeah, it's that kind of thing, and it's just so pretty, like the animation. It was really good. Like there's a GIF of it that's used a lot. The kind of happy person just kind of bouncing back and forth, just going toing toing toing, just hopping. Because like they use all the budget on like comedic animations.
Right.
So those are cute and it's very wholesome. So that's one that I remember liking. So the stuff that had like for a long time my favorite anime was Furikuri, which has like comedic stuff.
Furikuri is.
Oh yeah. Like the original one. I recently watched like the sequels and it's so underwhelming.
I think Fully Cooley was test animation for Space Dandy.
What?
Yeah.
How long ago were they making Fully Cooley's from 2000? How long ago were they making Space Dandy?
It's pretty recent. Hold on. Space Dandy.
Space Dandy even Like,
2014.
Yeah, Furikuri's from 2000.
Yeah.
That's wild. Because that's before, Samurai Champloo.
Oh yeah.
There's like a whole other series. But yeah, like the original Furikuri is so good. Like it uses the language of anime so well, and like
Oh, totally. And
it actually
knows when to be.
gets teams across you using like the over the topness.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a really well told kind of story about puberty.
Hmm.
And like it's so good at having
it's-
like that teenage energy. Even like the Pillows soundtrack
I might be
is so
totally.
like teenage energy.
I think I might be
Garage
totally
band
wrong
feel.
about what I just said.
Yeah, that's kind of a wild like development history if they were thinking of making it way back in 2000. I mean, it happens, but it's definitely the exception. But the new ones are just pretty mediocre. I don't know. I don't feel like they added anything. Because Furikuri was just 6 episodes, so it was very, such a. I know it was very well crafted, very efficient. It did everything that it wanted to do in a small space and fully explored its ideas, and it was done. And then they made like 2 new series at the same time,
Yeah.
and they're kind of meh.
Okay, yeah. I think it is Furikuri that was test animation for Space Dandy.
That's wild. So it changed a bunch.
Yeah.
Because Furikuri.
Oh yeah, a lot of the shape languages are very similar.
That's cool. Because yeah, the
Space
animation
Dandy
is very the animation for Space Dandy did look pretty nice.
Hmm.
But is it like the same designers? Like
I think so.
I
I
feel-
think it might have been the same like choreography team or framing team or something like that.
yeah. Because Space Dandy did look pretty good. But again, like people in like 14 years, they can change their styles as well.
Yeah.
Even the production pipeline, I'm sure, evolved.
I typed in
Furikuri was already
Space-
digital, but it was like early digital age.
Oh yeah. I just typed in Space Dandy in the first the second what's the point of Space Dandy?
What's the point of Space Dandy? I don't get it. Yeah,
It's just like Han Solo in space but anime.
I mean, Han Solo's already in space. That's kind of implied,
That's-
no?
Yeah, that's totally fair.
But yeah, I just didn't find it so funny from the start. And I don't find a lot of anime comedy funny, so I was like, okay,
Right.
just not for me.
I recently showed my roommates the Zelda cartoon.
Oh,
I unironically love the Zelda cartoon because it's bad.
so I kind of don't hate it.
Yeah.
Like, Captain N is awful.
Like,
Because it like takes all these cool characters in like interesting worlds and just reduces them to whatever an elderly person thought was the closest to like 80s cartoon equivalent.
right.
Like it's just make them into other characters that already exist, right? Like let's
Mhm.
not actually try to put them together. When just putting them together with their personalities they already had would be more interesting. Like, but Zelda, they did have very little to work with, to be fair.
Yeah, I think for what they had, they did really well. I understand not liking Link because of his attitude.
Yeah, he's kind of.
Right.
Sorry, I think you were muted for like a second. I just interrupted your word. He's kind of what?
He's kind of bratty.
Yeah, he's a kind of male hero that. I mean, I was going to say you fell out of fashion, but might not have.
He's like
Wait.
Luke Skywalker, but more aggressive.
Yeah, I don't think Luke Skywalker. I think is kind of a nicer person than him.
Yeah.
Whether being kind of douchey and entitled and
Yeah.
complainy was kind of viewed like relatable for like a male protagonist. They were just it's just they had like a shitty attitude, and you were supposed to be like OMG me and not what a douche. Shut up.
Right. Zelda does a pretty good job of being like, what the fuck, Link?
Yeah, Zelda's just not taking his bullshit, but you're like with her. It's not like
Yeah.
oh she's so like she's the Hermione, she's the
Right.
she's more responsible and serious all the time. Oh, boys are going to be boys, but the girl is the mom of the group. The
Right.
dynamic's kind of annoying. But no, you're like 100% with her. Like, stop being an idiot.
Yeah.
And
Link is like
And kind of
continuously creepy.
yeah, just this is not flirty and fun. You have zero social skills and are being a creep. Stop. But all boys
funny.
will be boys. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. But I feel like these otherwise like is not an awful kind of He-Man style thing.
It's not unwatchable.
Yeah, they're trying to make like the little fantasy world. There's some effort put into it.
Yeah.
It's not just like loudness, like Captain N. Like every character just has like a thing that's like, oh, my thing is every word ends with ikus, and my thing is I say mega before every word. Wow, I wish I could have sat in on like the meeting where they came up with those cool ass character traits.
Right.
Must have been an all-nighter. Must have had like fucking Stan Lee in there thinking of engaging character.
Oh man. I was talking to my dad the other day about like, because they're making the Mario movie and the cast for that is ridiculous.
Oh, we were talking about that the other day.
And I was like, well, who do you think would pull off a good Zelda cast nowadays?
Oh, you know who would pull a really good off Zelda cast nowadays? Voice actors who you never heard of. They would do an amazing
Exactly.
job. Not
Exactly.
screen well-known actors.
Yeah, it's like, well, shit. Link is now Tom Holland, and
Tom Holland would probably do a better job than the average Hollywood guy, to be honest. Like, I don't know. He's English, but he's American as Spider-Man. It's not like one of those guys who's just the same guy. Like, hey, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be fucking Ganon, and he's going to sound exactly like Robert Downey Jr. always sounds in everything.
that would be
No.
awful.
Because that's the thing. Like, Bowser is probably just going to be Jack Black.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Maybe a kind of slightly Rory Jack Black, but they didn't hire Jack Black for you to forget it's Jack Black.
Exactly. And I think what would end up happening is you would either get the guy that's playing Paul Atreides in the new Dune movie. I think either him or Tom Holland would end up being Link. I think Jason Momoa would end up being Ganon.
That's very likely. There's like an over 50% chance.
Yeah, like super big. It's either him or like Dave Bautista.
Yeah. Just definitely a wrestler or The Rock.
Yeah. Oh my God! I swear to God, if The Rock, and I would be furious. They'd make him sing.
I would rather they sing. Let's go for it.
Just a Zelda musical. They're like,
Just-
fuck it, it's going to Broadway.
Just make Zelda the fucking musical. That'd be great.
Oh man.
But yeah, I don't know what the fuck they want from Chris Pratt, because like, is it going to be like Brooklyn Mario? Like I said the other stream, like my best case scenario is Brooklyn Mario.
Right. Oh, it's either everybody says it's like for this Chef Boyardee ass accent.
Yeah, like, because like even I wish they just went with fucking Charles Martinet.
He's
Because-
in the movie.
Yeah, but someone said, was it Largan who said it on another stream? There was like, Charles Martinet is going to be Jumpman. He's going to be Mario's dad, and because Cranky Kong is in the fucking movie, and there's going to be like the old Donkey Kong and old Mario.
Oh, no, they're gonna fill out the lore.
That's so fucking likely. I hate it.
Ugh. That puts a bad taste in my mouth.
But 100%. Why would Cranky Kong be on the Narrowcast that they announced it's probably going to happen?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm excited for the movie just because I know it's like, all right, I'm gonna get really drunk and I'm gonna watch this movie.
It's going to be hot garbage, but I fear there's not even going to be fun hot garbage. It's just going to be loud. Because I was like, oh, it's probably gonna suck, right? They're like the Minion guys. And then I googled it on stream and I remember they did the Doctor Who atrocities. Doctor Seuss atrocities. Because Doctor Seuss has Who's, who are their characters. So I can say Doctor Who.
Oh my god. That would be just Doctor Who by Illumination Studios.
They turned like those like kind of serene, nice Dr. Seuss stories into just loudness and yelling and constant energy. They're going to do that with Mario as well. Like that's their mode. That's their only tone is yell all the time, so the child gets like hyperactive from the energy, and the child and the parents think they enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think that the only two really good casting things that happened in that, or maybe three things that happened in that cast made me genuinely go, I want to see this movie, was Keegan-Michael Key as Toad.
I don't even know what he's going to do, but okay, go for it.
He's just going to be loud, and that's his job. I mean, that's Toad.
But I feel like, sometimes the people just like take the paycheck, and fair enough. But I feel like he'd want to make something good. Like Kim Peele is really good, and and they do their own things. You'd think they would be like, kind of make this character your own, make it fun. Sometimes they just kind of hand the voice actor the job of making the character.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's very well likely what is happening here.
Because that has been a thing since Aladdin, where they just let a lot of
Robin Williams essentially be
they left a lot of his stuff just as like bullet points and let Robin Williams like say it however he wants and come up with his own jokes and improv. And this has been a thing for a while with the comedian character, that became a thing in Western animation.
Yeah.
So maybe he will be that, and he'll be able to come up with his own Toad. So Toad might be the best thing in the movie. If they let him come up with his Toad, and I don't know what the hell he's going to do with it. It might be really silly, but go for it.
I think the guy that they got to play Luigi is gonna make for some serious meme content.
Oh, he's the dude from Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already seen like Always Sunny dialogue and stuff with fucking...
Oh, with Luigi.
With Luigi. And is Seth Rogen Donkey Kong?
Yes.
He'll probably
That's the other one.
A competent job as Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I can already see Donkey Kong laughing like Seth Rogen, so it's like, no problem.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll probably do a fine job, right? Like a lot of people, get popular because they are likable. I think Chris Pratt is usually likable. We were talking about apparently Chris Pratt is like supports an awful homophobic church and stuff like.
Yeah, he's a Christian fundamentalist.
Yeah, that fucking sucks. So yeah, no, I guess he sucks as a person, but he's good at being likable. He is good at the job of being likable. Like in Parks and Rec, he is really likable and really funny.
Oh yeah.
And like he was kind of had like the least room to be funny in the Lego movie, but the Lego movie was really good. Like, did you watch that? It's so much better.
The Lego movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think the Lego Movie is brilliant, but it has like two phenomenal directors behind it.
Yeah, yeah, but I was like, he can do a good job under the right people, but I don't think, I don't imagine him saving a bad thing.
Yeah,
So, so he worked, like he did a good job as his character from the Lego Movie. But his character from the Lego Movie was a lot more, Chris Pratt than Mario is.
yeah.
So
Definitely.
he didn't have to work very hard at it either. But yeah, apparently
For
Chris
sure.
Pratt sucks. I kinda don't give a shit. As much as I like Parks and Rec, I have no investment on the people being good people. Hi Guilherme, very cool character there. Thanks. It's like I had the whole like visual for the character, how he's supposed to do it. It's just my take on him. But yeah, I really like the design.
I love your username, Fedorasaur.
Fedorasaur, yeah. If rolls off the tongue is very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to kind of quit soon, but let's see if I can finish this sketch. Actually, today, not that fast, so yeah, I can go a bit longer if that's what it takes, but I'll do colors off screen probably.
Sweet. Yeah, I gotta go here soon. I think dinner's done.
Yeah, I'll be eating soon as well. So, but like some days I have to like I don't live with my girlfriend, so every other night we'll spend the night together. So those days I have to cut the stream sooner. But today I'm on my own sad music, so I can eat a bit later if I want to.
Well, heck yeah, man! I'm super happy that we've gotten to do this. This was a blast.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's always more fun when there's like people over in the stream.
Yeah, and I've been meaning to try to make more online art friends because I've wanted to do Twitch, and I've wanted to do more community-based art projects.
Yeah, that's and Twitch is really good for that. Like, I'm kind of hoping that a bunch of like my art friends are not just all like taking a break collectively, because like a bunch of people who are like mutual followers on Twitch and they're like I've been their stream list haven't streamed in like a while, and I'm like, what the heck?
Oh no!
I'm all alone. No, what happened? It's almost 3 a.m.
Well,
Oh no!
I just gotta get my stuff set up.
Who's the person on the stream today? How about you drop your Twitter again on chat? He's also
okay.
an artist, so yeah. And by the way, like bargain before you like go to sleep and stuff. But like the super frequent people like Blargen, Neon, Deadwolf.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys wanna like chat in audio, and get an invite to the chat thing, feel free, just people who aren't like artists and aren't like streaming themselves are more hesitant to ask, because I know people usually don't like talking in public. It's kind of a difficult thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you guys wanna chat one of these days on Discord, feel free to say hey. Maybe one day. Cool. Yeah. Just whenever you feel like it, you can just say on chat like, hey, send me a Discord link. And then I'll send it on Twitter or something.
Very cool.
So yeah, we, I believe, are all done here. I just did all the sketch. It's all set. I'm going to look for someone to raid, since you as well are going to be... So this is the way I found most of the people. I just raid, I go to art, and I browse by art, English, and fewest. I just raid, I go... Oops, sorry. That was my own stream. I go to art, English, and then fewest like viewers. And then I scroll down until I'm like 2 or 3 viewers. And I look for anything that looks cool, And 2 or 3 is better than like 1, because sometimes 1 is just because they haven't started the stream yet. Like people can be like nothing or 1, and that's because they haven't started yet, and then like it may be someone who has like a lot of followers, and I want to, I want to help out people who are starting out and have few followers.
Heck
And I found a lot of cool people that way. Like Orlek, I just one of these days I just found him, and he was doing really cool art. So I was like, hey, awesome. There's someone drawing Ridley, and the name of the stream is this Spyro. So I'm absolutely going to raid them.
That's awesome.
Let me just see for a second the audio here. Do you speak? They probably do. I don't know. I'm going to. The name is the Ant-Man.
The Ant-Man.
No, the Admin. Sorry.
Oh, the admin. Sorry, it's
He must
probably
be.
me.
So /raid the admin. There you go. So we're going to raid a cool Ridley thing, and have a good day. You as well, Blargen. See you guys around. Thank you so much. Go say hi to Ed. And yeah, I'm gonna say bye to you as well now on Discord because that. But yeah, see you guys soon. Bye.
Yeah.
Boop. So okay, that was the stream. So I'll end.